everybody. We are now live for my players' sakes. Welcome back to Ready to Roll, episode 2 of Embers Beneath the Mountains. We're excited. We had a lot of fun last time. We are going to have a lot of fun again today as we go forward with the plan. But yeah, so real quick, just want to, again, since this is the second time, and I think we have a few people I don't recognize in the chat, I just want to introduce everyone and who we're playing, so that way you guys can be familiar with us. So we'll start with, it'll go Adam, Mike, Lydia, Braden, Luke, and Ian, because that's how you appear on stream. So yeah, just introduce yourself and your character's name and what you're playing.
So I'm Adam. I am playing Artyom the cleric.
Okay, and Mike?
And I am Michael. I am playing Kadiok the Barbarian.
Lydia.
I'm Lydia. I'm playing Jelania the fighter.
I am Braden, and I am playing Corvette the Warlock.
I am Luke, and I am playing Adrith the Druid.
I'm Ian, and I will be playing Piotr the Bard.
Perfect. And I'm Patrick. I am the Dungeon Master and Story Weaver for Ready to Roll. We're super excited, and we're going to get a brief recap of what happened last time from Mike.
So, brief recap. We all awoke from strange dreams of flying and falling in a cave that was attached to a chamber full of bones and an old bloody altar. Leaving that, we found out the cave was named Morphus's Mouth by a young woman who was gathering water at the edge of that cave, or at least at the pond that was adjacent to the cave. She lives alone outside the town. We know nothing about her. Once we got to the town, we were not allowed inside until we killed some zombies and skeletons that showed up, at which point the guards let us inside because, like, hey, y'all are good. Once inside, we found out that there was a lost girl that had been lost for a while now.
10 years.
Years, in fact, 10 years. And we found that out because her dad asked us where her daughter was, but before her sister-in-law, I think, came and got the dad. Apparently he has gone a little crazy, it seems. We also discovered that no one has been able to come or leave from the city in months because of a
3 years.
strange fog that had rolled in. 3 months.
3 years.
It had a strange fog that had rolled in. 3 years? Is that what it was?
3 years.
3 years. Sorry, not 3 months. Three
You're good.
years. In the night, Adam, or Artyom, that is, received a visit from a small fey creature called a Domovoi, and said that if we found the lost daughter, that he would give us more help. He gave a clue that the chapel would be the best place to look and figure out what was going on, because that had a secret way out of the town at night, and the lost often wander the woods at night. We ended with all of us waking up and Artyom saying, "All right, let's go to the chapel," and us saying, "Nothing else to do, let's go." Or
Why
not in
not?
those words, but yeah.
So there you go. That's what happened last time. Real quick, sorry, I just saw a question that I realized I'd meant to address that I realized I also forgot to tell my players as well. So Drith has, if any of the players are watching the stream, Drith has a little sun light icon next to his portrait. It's just signifying that he has inspiration. And so he can use that inspiration at any time. He just needs to and as players get inspiration, it's more to remind me as I'm looking at them that they have inspiration more than anything else. So cool. We lost Lydia's visual, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and get started.
Sorry.
You're good.
I think I'm back.
Give me a second. I think I know what's wrong. I think I have to. Okay, 1 second.
do 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 do.
There we go. That's kind of fixed, except I need to do this
Sorry.
video. You're good.
Sorry, I ruined everything. I was
Here.
sending you a secret message.
Okay. You're good.
Now we have.
Where are you
nobody.
sending me the secret message on?
It's in the player channel.
It's in the player channel. Okay, cool. I just have to open that up on my phone. All right. The stream says we're playing Dead by Daylight. Thank you.
I
Remedy
didn't want to
that.
interrupt.
You're good. That's fine. I mean, Dead by Daylight is a fun game, which, by the way, is having a free weekend this weekend if anyone is interested in it. But we are currently not playing Dead by Daylight. Cool. There we go.
Surprise, we are Pat's the
Surprise.
killer.
Surprise!
And
We're all
we are
playing.
all the survivors.
We tricked
No,
you all.
actually-
We're not playing Dungeons and Dragons today. We're playing Dead by Daylight. Ha! I'm just kidding. No. Anyway, so
Patrick's
fix
the
that.
traitor. Vote him off the
I'm
island.
the traitor. Cool. Fix that.
Different
Thank you,
game.
Lydia. All right. So yeah, you guys have just left the tavern. So you know your plan is to go check out the chapel. You do know that the yeah, that way you can brain dead. Sorry, you have several places to go. You can go check out the chapel directly. There was talk about going to go talk to the sheriff, Sheriff David Resnick, about doing things, but also, yeah. So are you guys? Are we all agreed that we're gonna head straight for the chapel?
We.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so you make your way towards the chapel, and you have you approach, you weave your way through the streets. You see, the townspeople are not out in force. There's a few people around. It's not a very big village in the first place, but everyone kind of like gives you like skeptical glances, like what the heck. Particularly skeptical glances directed in the direction of Anya and Kadiak, because one, Anya, you're a you're a tiefling, and so people are moderately skeptical of you, and then Kadiak, you're clearly a savage from the north, and so everyone's like, what are you doing? Why are you here? But so you make your way. No one stops you, however, as you're going through. There is lots of whispering, however, because no one new has entered the town in 3 years. But you figure that the sheriff probably, has tried to make people known, so that way they're, let people know, so that way you're not like, oh my gosh, there's these weird strangers. So you make your way to the northeast, up to the front of the chapel, and you approach it, and you see, there's the chapel, and then outside the chapel, not too far from it, is a house, and this house has a big, it has a big open area in front of it with lots of rocks in it. And and in this open area, kind of chiseling away at the rocks, you see a dwarf. Sitting there chiseling at the rocks. And he looks up at you as you approach, but then he looks back down and goes back to his work. The chapel looks derelict. It doesn't look like anyone's opened those gates, those doors in years. The glass is, all musty and dusty, and you can't really get a good view inside. And there's there's the big front doors at the chapel. What do you want to do?
Wearing any sort of insignia to show why he lives right next to the chapel, or does he just happen to live next door?
No insignia or anything that you can see. He just happened, it just looks like he's currently living next door.
Are there like locks on the door or anything that stops it from opening? You don't see any on the exterior.
However, knowledge of the way chapels are built would tell you that the locks are on the interior of the chapel. So that way the priest can lock up at night and then go to his room in the chapel instead of having to go outside.
Okay. So Drith is kind of like takes out a pen and quill and is kind of like sketching the structure of the architecture. He's taking notes on like how it's built and everything. And he's gonna walk up to the dwarf and say, "Hey, you look like you've been here a long time. What can you tell me about the structure? Like, what can you tell me about this chapel? Has it been here a long time? Is it old, new? And why aren't people going?"
So the dwarf kind of looks up at you. You're asking a lot of questions. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Drith.
Drith? You're a Drith.
That's me, Drith Sabin, at your service.
Well, the chapel is as old as the village itself. It's been here a long time. However, no one's been in for almost 3 years now, if I would guess. Frankly, why haven't we gone in? Well, no one's been able to get the door open.
Sounds like a lame excuse for atheism.
I mean, one day, we went on one of the holy days to go worship, and the doors weren't open. Bishop Menov wasn't at the gates to greet us, and we just assumed that, everything was, we tried to open the doors and have not been able to enter in.
All right.
And
so are we free to like go in and like walk around? Like, would anyone?
If you can get
stop
the
us?
doors open.
All right.
Corbett just walks up and is like, "Sounds good. And we gotta just try the door. Does the door open?
The door
Is it
doesn't-
locked?
The door is locked. The door does not open as you try to open it up.
Okay.
Are there windows?
There are windows, but as I said, the windows are, stained glass works of art that, I guess you could break if you were truly that, but
Truly a heathen,
truly heathen, but yeah, exactly. But it's musty, dusty, hard to see inside. But you could try to break the windows if you really wanted to.
Can I cast Detect Magic?
You are more than welcome to cast Detect Magic. Yes.
I don't like the way you said that.
I mean, it's your life.
So, Detect Magic. For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic, if any. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
All right. So you do detect some magic coming from inside the chapel. It is abjuration in origin. And it is, abjuration is protective magic. And it's kind of like emanating from the entirety of the chapel. It's not really like a specific area, but it's kind of emanating, from everywhere.
Does the door look particularly magical?
No more magical than the rest of the chapel.
I'm gonna look at the dwarf and be like, would anybody be offended if I knocked the door down?
You're welcome to try. Built those doors myself. If you can knock them down, I'll be very impressed.
How thick are these doors?
A plot appropriate amount of thickness. I don't know how thick doors normally are. Like what?
4 foot thick.
Like 4, 6 inch. I don't know how thick is a door. Like it's a
solid hardwood door.
Yeah, exactly. Solid hardwood door. I'm not sure how exactly thick it is in real life.
Did they
So is
open for an old
Anyone
chapel
really good at-
that was probably built for defensive purposes? I would guess it's about 9 inches thick.
We'll go with 9 inches thick. That's a really
Holy
thick door.
smokes, like,
Big door.
Where do
did the
you
door
come
open
from?
inwards
Wow.
or outwards?
The door, you don't see any hinges on the outside, so you're guessing the door is open
Inwards?
outwards. Because if you saw the hinges on the outside, they'd open inward.
Open.
So the doors
Other
open
way.
out towards.
The doors open out towards you. Yes.
Okay. Hmm.
Is there only one door? Only one way in and out?
Yes. It's not a giant. It's just a village chapel, so it's not a big one. If it was like a cathedral from Ostrava, there'd be multiple entrances. But it's just a village chapel. It's not very. It's the biggest building in the village, but it's not huge.
Okay. So, using my background.
Okay.
Well, first using my eyes.
I
Is there a keyhole?
thought you were blind.
Using your eyes, Mr.
Is
Blind
there a
Man?
keyhole?
I'm so
Well,
confused.
relatively speaking, I guess
Well.
I should say my senses.
But not that you can
No
see.
keyhole.
Again, as
So-
stated earlier, based on as you particularly would know, the chapels are built with their keys and stuff on the inside, so that way the priest can lock up and go to bed instead of going outside. He can lock up from the inside rather than having to have a house outside the chapel.
Okay, he lives inside. All right. So is there? There's nothing to pick a lock from. On the outside, it looks like. So do we just smash down this sucker? Maybe. Would the
Is it
sheriff
one
know
door or is it
anything?
like a double door?
It's a double door. Sorry, it's a double door. And would
That
the
was-
It's
I
a
walk
magic
around?
door.
Okay.
If the
I mean-
door is magically protected, it might be a little difficult to just smash it. We can try, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't do much.
Kadiok, you grew up in the mountains, right?
Somewhat,
if you
yes.
walked around, would you be able to find some form of like a tunnel? Some other way that whoever managed to get in and seal this place up magically got in?
Certainly take a look.
I think we should do that. We're all just standing like, it's quite a door. What do we do?
So that's
Would
what
that be investigation?
Yep.
Or perception?
that'd be investigation.
First roll of the night. Here we go.
Roll good, don't roll bad.
Will be an 18.
An 18.
Ooh.
Nice.
You do not see any evidence of at least a tunnel leading. How to describe this? You don't see any evidence of a tunnel, at least an entrance to a tunnel from the outside. Going around, walking on the ground, there is a point. Yeah, no, you can't. There's no evidence of a tunnel. Best way for me to put it.
Kadiak is going to ask the group, does anyone have a lawn knife?
I mean, I've got a pair of swords.
I got a spear. Does
I
does a spear work?
So as you offer up your
Yeah,
spear,
thin blade.
Braden. So as you offer up your spear, Braden, you hear in your head, "Don't you dare!"
Well, you don't. You can be useful for once, right?
Nah, he's gonna stick me in the ground. Don't let him stick me in the ground. Then, anyway, as you were saying, Mike.
Carry on.
I see
Is-
I see Corbett talking to himself, and I'm like, all right. Anya, perhaps I might borrow one of your swords.
Are you going to break it? I need my swords. They are not
Swords will
very
not be broken.
nice. I don't want them to. You're not going to break it?
I have
I
I
can
have
borrow
a
this one?
dagger.
I was gonna say I've got a dagger you could
Do you
try.
want? Does dagger work?
A dagger would be better, yes.
All right, there you go. I give him one of my daggers.
I'm going to borrow his dagger, and then Patrick, using a sleight of hand check. Because of the way that double doors work, the latch should be visible in between the two doors. So I'm going to
Okay.
try and jimmy the latch.
All right.
And before he does that, I am going to pat him on the head and say, "Good luck, man." And then I cast guidance, which means he gets it's a cantrip and he can add a
Yes.
D4 to any ability check.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Give me a
Yeah.
check. Give me your sleight of hand check.
Be survival instead, or would that be sleight of hand? Because it's survival. I'm using the knife.
I'd say it's sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. Picking a lock. Still picking a lock.
Yeah, I'm still trying to jimmy the lock open.
That'll be another 18.
Okay. All right.
Oh wait, no, plus what was it? 4 or
That's
1d4?
The D
1d4.
1d4. Okay, that will be 21 then.
Ooh.
All right. So you jimmy the lock for a little bit, and then you feel, and eventually you feel it click open, and the doors start to swing. At that, the dwarf stands up. Don't go in there. Don't do it.
Why? What did you do?
Well, I
He's
didn't
guilty.
I didn't do anything. The place is cursed. It's cursed.
Why? Because no one
How
came out.
so?
Yeah, no one's gone in. No one's come out in 3 years. It's like this whole valley.
How hard have you tried to get in? Because our friend tried for like 30 seconds. He's in. How hard did you really try to
He
get
just
into
needed a
this
good luck
chapel?
pat. That's it.
Why do you want in? Why do you want to explore that cathedral, that chapel? Why do you want in there?
We're very curious.
Curiosity
Kind of bored.
killed the cat. Have you ever heard that?
Well, I'm not a cat.
Can't
It works. You're not wrong.
I have the pointy ears, but I'm not a cat.
Hey, maybe you should
You
go
want
on
the
first,
truth?
Mr. Dwarf.
I would really
yes,
like to.
truth is great.
Yeah.
I've been in the cathedral, and I've seen what's in there.
How?
I
What
did
is it?
exactly what your friend did. I built the doors. You think I couldn't figure out how to get in? I built the doors. No, I did exactly what your friend did. You don't want no. Don't.
I
you don't
do
I
want in
really
there.
do want to go.
We
Now
would
I'm
love
really
any-
curious.
It's dark. Evil things have happened in there.
All right, please tell us, because otherwise we are going to walk
Look-
in and find out on our own. I don't know who you are. I don't really trust your opinion, especially
Look,
because
we-
you continue to lie
We
to
can
us.
help you if you help us. You know,
It's fair.
if you help us know what we're walking into, we can help you solve this crisis.
Get it out. Yeah.
Fine. My name is William Valentine. I am the local gravekeeper and craftsman of the village. But I went in when I hadn't seen the bishop. I tried to go in for weeks. You know, being the gravekeeper, I keep the dragon goddess very close to my heart.
Of course.
Everyone else gave up after only a few weeks, but I tried for months, eventually made my way in. Everyone is dead. Who was in there? And
Like,
if you go in there, I am convinced that you will meet the same fate. That's why I've been sitting out here preventing anyone from going into the cathedral for 3 years
How
now.
did they die?
I don't know.
Yes, was this a sort of like poison? Was it like a heart attack? Was it like
of
they
a
got hacked into
stabbing.
pieces?
I'm not sure.
Obesity.
Is
I
there a lot
just-
of blood or no blood? Blood or no blood?
I mean, dried blood at this point, but there was. I found the priest in the bell tower, Bishop Menov, and I found his apprentice, the person who's going to take his place, in the basement with 2 other bodies.
Did you recognize the other 2 bodies?
Never seen them before in my life. They were wearing these strange purple robes.
Did they have any masks on them? Silver masks?
I didn't see any masks, just purple robes.
Okay.
How long ago was this?
3 years. It's cursed, I tell you.
Well, time to break that curse. Do you guys think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so, please.
Kadiak is just gonna swing his maul around and just hold it with both hands and get ready to kick open the door.
Well, if you're gonna go in there,
My mall.
William,
Uh,
I'm gonna give you some advice.
Kadiel, can I have my sword back, please?
I thought he used
You took my
Orvid's
dagger.
Oh, okay, never mind.
but
Sorry,
Yeah,
Wait,
we have
where's
like
my
a weird
sword
emergency over here.
you're good. All right, here's some advice. 1, don't go in groups bigger than 12.
Okay,
That
we
shouldn't
got
be a
that
problem.
covered.
There's only 6 of you.
Good. Good.
Why 12?
I don't know, just something I heard. And you see that he's at this point he's
A
pulled out
13th never
he's pulled out a
comes back.
list of things, and he said he's reading the list of things. He's like, if you hear the organ playing while you're in the basement, know that your time is running out. If you hear the organ playing while you're in the sanctuary, your time is up.
Do you have useful information?
Only drink the
Sounds like-
wine if you never wish to leave. Only drink the wine if you never want to leave that chapel.
I'm gonna like start to slowly walk in like away. Okay, very helpful.
Can I try and read this guy? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how crazy is he?
Give me,
Yeah,
give me
can
an
we,
insight
like-
check.
I was gonna, yeah. Can I like assist her? Like, how believable is he? Is he just pulling?
So what are you doing to assist her?
I don't know. Actually, that's
Kind of
I
hard to
just-
help someone read.
Massaging
someone
her
else.
temples as she
Rubbing
she would
Jelania's
not let me
temples.
touch them at all. She'd be like, nope.
Oh wow, I don't have great insight, so that's a 14.
You can tell it's pretty obvious. Like, he's kind of an interesting combination of sane and insane. So there are some things that he's very clearly sane about, like probably entering the chapel being, probably being
bad
not
idea.
necessarily the best idea. But he's also not all there. It's probably has to come to, probably comes with the territory and being the gravekeeper, being the probably the only one brave enough to make the journey to the graveyard and back. To
And
do
having
his
sat
job.
outside
but-
the same building for the last 3 years.
yeah,
too.
that too. So yeah. So he's not completely psychotic, but he's he's losing his grip on reality a little bit. But he just looks. Don't drink the wine.
Okay, that's enough.
I'm just
I'm
gonna walk over to him.
I don't know if
Kadiak's
we
gonna
were
walk
really
over to him,
planning on
and then just-
drinking the wine.
grab the list, and take it with him.
Okay, I will send you
May we
the
please have
list,
that cheat sheet?
because he has a huge list. There is actually a.
You actually have the list.
I have a
Oh my
list.
gosh.
Oh my gosh.
And then on the bottom it says like, and on Fridays we wear pink.
Oh,
You can't sit with us.
The list is in the player channel of Discord.
Oh my gosh.
Great.
But
All right. I've got both swords out when
At least it's on
we're
the
ready to
after,
go
yeah.
in.
all right.
Oh, there's a spider. Do you want to get me?
Well, thank you, William
Telegram
Valentine.
there?
We'll let you know how it goes.
Oh, crap.
oh, William.
William, I don't ever expect to see you again, but I wish you luck.
See you soon. Thanks, bud.
All right.
And
So
then
you entered.
we-
So you're all entering the chapel. Anything that you want to do before you go in? This is the
I have a
point.
question.
No, yes, I have possibly an answer.
What's a flashlight?
Translate it to medieval terms. All right. But I found it and I thought it was hilarious, and so I decided to use it. Anyway, okay, chapel. Let me get to the chapel pulled up.
We're going to the chapel and we're gonna get ambushed.
All right. Okay, it should be up and available on the shared screen. And
Ooh. Is that blood or a rug?
That is
a rug.
a rug / blood. There is
I see.
both. So you enter in.
It's a bloody rug.
I just
I'm
put you
like, oh.
guys. I just put you guys in a generic marching order. Who actually was entering first, so I can fix that real quick.
I like backed in well before everyone else was done.
Okay, so Artyom's
You're
good
the
where he
blind
is.
man is backing in.
I feel-
I like reach out. I'm like, oh no, and I go trying to reach him, catch up to Artyom.
Dude.
Whoa,
That bench just spun.
the bench just spun around.
That bench actually spun around in game. Just kidding. I realized I put the bench the wrong direction.
I think I probably was one of the first few as well to go
Okay.
in.
Sorry, I'm just moving you around while we figured this out. Okay, so we'll put you. Do you want to be right next to Artyom or?
I think I actually would have like slid forward and like to the left or the right, kind of into the corners, just so I can like see everything.
So like right there.
Make sure nothing's behind us.
Michael.
We lost the mic and it moved to the DM.
Ah, buckets, Mike.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm back.
Yay.
Did it fix me? Am I back in the right position?
No.
No. Well, I need Mike to activate his camera. That'll fix it. Okay, there we go.
Ah,
We're
they're
good.
both back.
Oh, I got booted.
All right. Okay. Anyone
trying
else?
to
What are
see
you
the stream.
doing? Corvette, what are you doing as you enter into the chapel?
I should say this. I took one of my Eldritch invocations is Mage Armor.
Okay.
So I cast that when I woke up. So that's one I cast at will. So I will cast that. Just walk into a creepy chapel. I kind of want that on.
Okay, so you're casting. Cool. Drith, what are you doing as you enter the chapel?
Like looking up and around, and I'm taking notes about all the architecture and everything.
If you didn't already have inspiration, there would be more inspiration your way, Drith. Then Kadiak, what are you doing as you enter the chapel?
Kadiak is going to be humming what sounds like a lullaby.
All right.
There's two
He enjoys
crazy
creepy
dwarfs
chapels. Yeah.
All right. And Piotr, what are you doing as you enter the chapel?
I've picked up one of the hymnals and I'm leafing through it.
Okay. Cool. So you see lots of familiar hymns, things that you've probably sung before. All right. So you do see, looking down, you see, the rows of pews. You see the carpet. I'm going to zoom forward because you can see a little bit farther. That's about as far as you can see it. So at the end, you see the altar with a book lying on top of it. To the left and right, you do see doors. You do know that there is probably layers above you, as this chapel did have a bell tower, so there probably are layers above you. But yeah, so here you are. Gonna have no. So what I'm gonna have, so real quick, so that way we kind of like not all jumbling to talk over each other to do stuff. I'm gonna have everyone roll initiative real quick, so that way we can go in an order. People doing stuff. Not that there's combat coming, but like roll an initiative so that way I know I can be like, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this. So we can take turns. All right, Artyom.
I got an 11.
Jelania.
Dirty 20.
Kadiak. Kadiak?
11 and 1.
Okay, Artyom and Kadiak. Who wants
Can
to
you
go
hear me?
first? Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first, Artyom or Kadiak?
Okay, yeah.
Blind man can go first.
I heard Adam first, so Kadiak's gonna go before Artyom. Corvette. What are you?
19.
19. Drith.
12.
Piotr.
17? Yeah. Yep, 17. Final answer.
Perfect. Cool. All right. So Jelania, it's your turn. Standard movement. Just anything you can probably reasonably do in 6 seconds. So that way we can make sure everyone's doing stuff and
Oh,
keep
we're
it
going
moving
6
along.
second round. Okay. Oh shoot. Because I was thinking I'm gonna look over at Corvette and say basement first.
Sure.
Right.
Where
I'm
is
gonna
that?
Let's find out. I want to go like open one of the doors looking for a staircase.
Okay, so you want to go to the closest door on the left here?
Yeah, looking for stairs down.
Okay. So you open this door. Oh, crap. I messed up. Buckets. I didn't design this properly. So you open that door and you go inside. You see yourself in that room. That's what you see inside. Obviously, sorry, I designed the map poorly, I realized, so I wasn't able to do the fog of war properly. So you're in the room if you want, or you're just outside the room. But
Door open. If I don't see stairs, I'm gonna call back. I don't see stairs in this room.
okay, you do see a door to the south.
Right, but no obvious stairs yet.
No obvious
Cool.
stairs yet. Yep.
Cool.
All right. Then it would be Corvit's turn.
Sweet. As I'm walking towards the other side, might as well make this quick and efficient. I want to ask Artyom if his detect magic is still going, and if so, what direction it might be coming from, or if it's still like the whole like chapel in general is magical.
How long is it? How long did it take us to get in here?
Probably like 2 minutes.
Okay,
Talking
so
to
yeah,
the dwarf.
it's still going, and then let me just double check the rules on the spell.
I think this is it 10
I
minutes?
can, yes, 10 minutes. I can sense a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic.
Interesting.
Sensible. Anything that I can.
How long? How big's the area again?
30 feet, right?
Yeah, 30 feet.
So from where you're standing, you get a vague sense that it's down and to the left of where you're standing. A bigger concentration.
It smells like it's coming from that way.
It's that way. It's funny.
All right, thanks. And I open the door that I'm at.
Okay.
If I can do
So
that.
you open
I
the
look inside.
door. Boom. You come in and you see to the north.
Do-do-do-do.
You see
Ooh.
what would be 2 confessionals. Yeah, that'd be
Oh.
2 confessionals, and then there's another door to the south.
Oh no.
All right. Then that brings us to Piotr.
This reminds me of Betrayal at the House on the Hill. If anyone's played that game.
Yes, very much so.
It's a glorious game. All right, Piotr.
I'm just walking around. Well, what is there anything like? Is there an organ?
There is not an organ.
The organ
Trying to
plays.
get a feel of what the room looks like. Okay, I'm gonna go in the other room with everyone else and see what's going on.
Which room? There's
the
people
left.
in the one on the left. All right. Okay, so you can be right here with Jelania. She's getting, she enters that room. Okay. Then Drith, it's your turn.
I'm gonna go and go to Corvit. Is the confessional room too far away to get in, or like do we just have enough room to get in there?
No, you don't have enough movement to get in there in 6 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. Kadiak.
All right, Kadiak is going to be slowly walking up the center of the chapel, just making sure that he doesn't see anybody or anything moving, and is just going to be continuing to hum his little song.
You want to give me a perception check?
Oh gosh.
Perception check, you said?
Yep.
That will be, let me double check what my bonuses. Okay. That'll be a 22.
If you see a haunted doll, I'm gonna kill you.
22.
that's
I
your-
mean, you're kind of getting a sense of what happened here as you look around. You see blood. You're guessing is the blood looks like, from what you can see, it looks like the blood was coming from like someone who was stumbling around. there is a door broken up, by the altar to the left of the altar. There's a door that's broken over there. There's a door that's open to the right of the altar. But you don't, you don't really see anyone. You don't really see anything. All right.
At this point, he's just gonna start singing and make his way towards the broken door.
Okay, cool. All right.
Is that end of my turn, or should I
That
continue a little bit?
That will be the end. Artyom?
I want to
Okay.
walk towards the altar and trip over the dwarf.
5 foot squares. 5 foot squares. All right. Okay. All right. Back to the top with Jelania. So you see you're in this room. There's bags in one corner. There's boxes. And there's the door to the south.
Right. I'm gonna go check the door to the south. What's the lighting like in here too? Like it was daytime. Is there a good amount of light? coming
So there's
from the
there's windows. There's a decent amount of lighting coming through at this point.
Okay.
It's not super dark.
Cool.
So you make your way through and you open the door and you see
Make my way downtown.
you see stairs that head downward.
Yes. All right. I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna yell, "Found the stairs going down!"
Okay.
And I'm gonna start. If I can make a few steps down, I'll go slowly down.
Okay. So you start. Oh, I guess this would be the. You start your way down the stairs.
Yeah.
All right. Corvit.
I will move to my door to the south as well.
Okay. So you head on through,
Open that.
and you see stairs leading upwards.
Upwards. Oh, I found some going up. She did say basement first, so I turn around with a sigh and start going back.
All right. Piotr.
I'm gonna follow Jelania to the stairs.
That's not her name. She introduced herself.
Anya. Sorry.
Yeah,
Anya.
exactly.
Sorry, here I go metagaming again.
Oh, dear.
All right, Drith.
I'm gonna open the door to the nearest confessional.
So you open the door, you look inside. So you see the confession. You see the confessional. Chairs in one. Chairs to be sat in. You're, the wooden barrier that has, in between them that has, that's kind of looks like it's, a cross pattern. So that way, there's holes in it. So that way you can talk back and forth without fully seeing each other.
The screen thing.
Yeah, the screen thing. That's what it's called. Sorry, I'm not Catholic. I don't actually know what it. I've never gone to confessional, but I've just seen it in TV shows. But anyway, yeah. So you see, you see this, that's what, so you see, yeah, that's what you see. Nothing
Yeah,
of interest.
I think I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna sit down and start taking some notes.
So Drith just casually.
I'm gonna hypothesize about what they use this for.
Is the door of the confessional still open that I can see Drith sitting down in it?
Did you close the door behind you, Drith?
Oh, I did no.
I just look at him like,
Hey, Corbett, what do you think this was used for? Is this like the timeout zone? Is this like the,
that might be
is this
something.
where they put sinners to bore them to death?
To repent, I believe. But we can talk more about that later. We have a cleric with us. He would know exactly what that's about, I'm sure. So,
Good idea.
shall we
Which
get
one is he or she?
I believe Artyom is. He has the looks of one.
Okay.
It's almost like my clothes give that away or something.
I was hoping you were wearing that type.
My priestly vestments and armor.
Yes.
Cool.
So,
Oh, I just thought he was rich.
at that comment, I look down at my clothing and I'm just like, do you see this?
Oh, I thought you were poor. It's really terrible taste. I thought you had stopped at the thrift store.
Ouch.
After you tried to take money from me.
Okay.
Invert.
All right, who's
Truth laughs and moves out of the confessional box.
All right. Okay. All right. So Kadiak. Okay, cool. We'll make sure that gets done. Kadiak, you said you were heading up towards the broken door, right?
Yes.
That wound will never fully heal.
So you look inside and you see what would have been the priest's room. It's not very big. There's just a chest where he probably kept all his belongings. You know, he's a priest and had a lot of stuff. Changing screen, his bed. On his bed is an open-faced, it was an open book.
I'm gonna go and see what the book says.
Okay. So you
Just
over.
what page is it open to? And just look at that.
Okay. So if you go pull open the document that I told you guys about. So sorry, I realized I don't have it open. So just, so you're seeing, so the page that it's open on
Mm-hmm.
is so under the diary entries section, you see it open on day 1 of the 4th month.
All right.
Are you choosing to share it with the audience?
I was just gonna say, Artyom, you're still standing out there near where I am, right?
I mean, where you were.
Where I was.
If you're gonna like shout through the door at me.
I was gonna shout through the door at you and say, blind man, I have a book here. I'm gonna read it. Does this mean anything to you? You being also of the cloth?
Can you? So you
Hey.
want to real quick? You want to move me closer, Patrick, to right out front of the altar? No, at the altar, not at the door. And I'm gonna pick up that book as my action while I'm listening to Kadiak.
Okay. So that
I
book,
was
as
gonna
you
say.
go ahead.
I was gonna say. I thought at this moment we were gonna find out Kadiak can't read, and he's like, "Hey, blind man, can you read this for me?"
No, I was gonna be like, what?
Like,
So the book that you pick up is, the Book of Silhana. So it is one of the So it's it's the holy book of the religion. Now, Kadiak, if you want to go ahead and read that entry.
Day 1 of the 4th month. I'm getting old. Perhaps it is time that I start considering finding a
Sorry,
replacement.
wrong day 1 of the 4th
I
month.
was hoping.
The next day 1 of the 4th month. I forgot that there were 2 of them.
What?
I apologize. That's my bad.
1 of the 4th month. After almost a year of enduring these changes, I finally broke down and wrote a letter to the Patriarch. He says to have had no knowledge of my plans to retire, but he doesn't even know who Brother Novak is. I must confront this impostor. These rites and practices don't feel right. Are there any other entries after this one?
No, that is the last entry in the book.
This is the last entry in the book.
That is the last entry.
Ooh.
So
All right. Well, after reading that entry, I'm going to look over at Artyom and wait for a response from the blind priest to see if that means anything to him.
So there was a fake priest. What is the name of the opposite religion again, Patrick? The evil.
the cult
Dragon.
the cult of Morpheus.
If I had to take a wild guess, I would say that it's been infiltrated by the cult of Morpheus, and that's probably the source of all of this destruction, and probably whatever weird curse is keeping people from going in and out. But
Morpheus.
who
Is
knows?
that
Maybe I'm
your
biased.
Southerners? Is that your Southerners undead person?
I'm not kind of looking down at my priestly vestments. I'm like, I'm not quite as versed, but Do they do undead stuff?
Yeah,
Sure.
it's pretty well known that the cult of Morpheus is a necromantic cult.
I forget you're not from here. Yes, they practice necromancy. And can I be looking at the book that's in the altar, Patrick?
Yeah, do you want to look what's inside it?
Yes.
Or it's the standard holy book of the church, like the Bible. It starts with, in the beginning the dragon gods made the world. And so you're pretty familiar with its content, being a trained priest. It doesn't have anything, it has the unique markings, of course, in it, of passages that the priest, the bishop, probably felt important. It's actually a family. It looks like it's this particular one has been passed down from father to son for generations. It looks like this particular family has been the bishops of this particular chapel for centuries. And so so you actually find it kind of curious that it doesn't seem that this bishop passed it to his son.
Can I, as I'm flipping through, do I notice any defacement, kind of something that someone of the from the cult of Morpheus would have crossed out and been like false, something kind of like that?
So as you're skimming through the book, you come to the point where Silhana and Morpheus fought each other in their dragon forms, and the part where it says where Silhana and Morpheus disappear after the fight, there is something written that says he will return, and that's it. And it's not in the same handwriting as any of the other handwriting you've seen, so you're guessing it was probably not written by the bishop or any of his family members.
I'm gonna lay the book down, open this page. Kadiak! I'll be patting on the table. Kadiak, come here. There's a book. What is it? It's open.
Okay.
Another book.
So you're gonna go check it out, Kadiak?
Kadiak's gonna... Yes, I'm gonna take the diary with me, though. I'm gonna be flipping through and reading the other entries as well at the same time, just as we go, trying to figure out more of what happened.
Okay. So before you look at the holy book, just to summarize, what's in the diary, it's written by Bishop Menov, the former leader of the local church.
Mm-hmm.
The earliest entries date back to 4 years ago, but the earliest entries date back to 5 years ago, but most detail mundane aspects of the life of the bishop, as well as events in the valley and the village. The most interesting details start almost 4 years ago. The actual journal entries are there for you to read if you want, but to summarize them, they detail his desire to retire. His son didn't want to replace him as bishop, as had been the family tradition. And had left actually to go to Ostrava, the capital city, and he was looking for a replacement, and he wrote to the local patriarch to request a replacement. He was a young man named Prestov Novak came to replace him, but Prestov started talking about doing things that the bishop's like, wait, hold on, this doesn't seem right. I'm not familiar with these rites and rituals. I haven't heard about them. And Prestov was like, oh, no, don't worry about it. It's coming down. You're an old priest. That's why I'm here, to replace you and get these new things in. And then eventually he was going to bring it up to the old, he was going to bring it up to the patriarch, but he wasn't, every time he went to go meet with the patriarch, stuff was canceled. And finally, he wrote a letter to the patriarch, and the patriarch was like, I never sent a replacement. What are you talking about? And then, that's where it ended.
Was the first one that I read, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Great. So then I'm going to go see the holy book that RTM is patting down.
Did you steal anything?
Yes. I have the diary that I read to you, but he seems to be dead, so he has no use of it anymore.
Oh, I was referring to you patting down the book. I was like, Frisk could get, but Good. I'm glad you brought that diary with you. What is the book? What's the book on the altar or table? Flat surface.
It look. I'm pretty sure that you could tell it's an altar. Well, it looks to be your Southerner's Book of Silhana. Yeah, there's a note here saying that Morpheus, which is your dark god, I believe, will rise again.
But yes, a dark god, not mine though. Will rise again. I mean, they've been saying that for a long time. Maybe like trying not to hide the very obvious kind of like, oh no, kind of factor in my voice. Look, I feel a breeze. Is there another door to the right?
Okay.
There is, in fact, but before we enter, if I might offer some wisdom from the north, it's a tale of my people. It's the song that I've been singing. In common, it means, when you cause your foes to fall, and their bones continue to crawl, do not forget the oaken gulls, and don't forget to crush their skulls. In other words, if we fight somebody, make sure the head is gone, because they'll rise again otherwise. So, yes.
I'm gonna lift my warhammer and say, I concur.
Okay. All right. So before we go into that room, let's go check out Lydia and Piotr. So I'm guessing you both are going down the stairs.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
How much time passed while all that was going on with the two of them?
A lot.
Because I feel like if there's crazy stuff happening in the basement, we're already both dead.
That's fair.
It happened simultaneously. It was like
All of that took 6
conversation.
seconds.
No,
All of that took
but all
6
didn't
seconds.
take
It's like
6 seconds.
Skyrim. You open the book and you read it all.
I just figured I didn't want to kill what was going on over there. So all right. So you come down, you enter the basement, you see more blood at the bottom of the stairs, and you see the door to the north. Both of you are together. We're just gonna have you two act together for now, since you're all kind of paired up now. That's how we're gonna do this.
Right. They said there were dead people in here. People he didn't recognize. I imagine this could be the place where things might be. Do we want to be careful? Do we want to be sneaky?
Yes to both of those. Death is a thing I try to avoid, although... Anyway, yes.
You've been successful so far, it seems.
Yes, so far. But, there's always tomorrow to try again, so...
All right. So I'm gonna like sneak, like I'm gonna try and like be more stealthy from here on out, and like push the door open carefully. I've got like both my swords out. I'm like pushing it open with like my elbow.
Okay. All right. So this doesn't mean you're in the room. It's just this is what you see. So you see 3 skeletons on the ground. You know, a bunch of boxes. You know.
See the purple robes.
They have purple robes on them. Yep.
Do they have masks? Silver masks?
They do not have silver masks on them.
All right. I want to go over and like check out the closest one.
All right. So you approach, check out the
I'm
closest.
gonna like wave back at Piotr, like, "Come on, there's stuff in here, but it doesn't seem like there's anything alive."
Okay. So you go in.
Okay.
You look around. So yeah, you go. You flip over one of the skeletons. You know, looking at it. You can't really tell much about how it died, you know, since they've been down here for so long. Probably, you know, decayed. You know, however, there is there's a pool of dried blood where the skeleton's head was laying, so you maybe have a good idea that the skeleton's throat was slashed. I mean,
And this is one of. Do they all 3 have robes? Or
all
just
3
2
have.
of them?
Well, 2 of them have purple robes. One of them has on priestly vestments.
And this is not one of the. Not.
This is
This is a purple robe.
a purple robed one. Yep. the priestly vestment is the one to the left, up towards those chests.
Okay. Hmm.
Hmm.
Does the style of robe look familiar to me at all?
Yes, style robe does look familiar to you.
Cool. Good to know.
Okay, we're getting feedback from someone real quick.
Yeah, we are.
And now it's gone. Cool. Oh, now it's back.
I think it's Mike.
I think it's Mike.
Yeah, because it's going
Yeah.
off for Mike. We're getting feedback from you, Mike.
Me?
It's a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, just make certain you're plugged
Okay.
in all the way.
It's just static. Okay.
There we
Yeah,
go.
cool.
Let's look around, huh?
Yeah. I'm just trying. What exactly are we looking for, though?
I mean, if the crazy dwarf man outside didn't recognize the two in the robes, I would imagine it is their fault that something happened. And so maybe they have something on them that we could use to guess
Got to mention,
what they did.
this is probably important for me to mention, there's a paper with writing on
I
it.
wasn't sure
lying
if
next,
that
that's
was
my
like
bad.
randomly
Oh,
out
wouldn't
there like
that
a
be nice?
Slenderman note, or if it was like tucked in
No,
there.
it's there though. The paper is lying there. The paper is something you can interact with.
Okay, if it's super
Anything,
obvious, then yeah.
anything on, pretty much anything on that I put on, you can interact with.
Okay.
Lo!
Do you want to pick up the piece of paper and
A
read what it
piece
says?
of
Sure.
paper.
Yes, please.
Okay, I will pull that up for you. So if you go open up, sorry, give me a second.
Ooh. Ooh.
So you can either read it from here. I don't know how easy that'll be from, or it's also in the readings document. It's called The Ritual of Breath.
I'm not gonna read it out loud.
Okay.
'Cause that seems
Well, I
dumb
will
to do.
I will show it to the audience so the audience can know what is on there.
So I don't want to accidentally spark a ritual by
Yeah.
reading it out loud to my friends. So I'll
Spell.
just hold it next to us. Say,
Okay.
don't say the words. Just read the words.
Okay. And then if you wanna read it so that way people are just listening.
Read
you
it
can,
so that
not,
we-
you're not reading it.
Yeah.
Jelani isn't actually
Okay,
reading it, but
out of
read
character.
it.
Yes,
Out of character.
I will not use the Jelania voice. O Morphus, dark one, felled by the light, breathe upon this land once more, cover it with thy spit and thy breath, preventing the passage of any who would seek to come or leave. When the time is right, we will send thy breath back to thee, that it may fill your lungs once more. I'm gonna look over at Piotr. That means the mist is his spit. That's gross. That's really
Comforting.
gross.
That is gross. I'm more worried about the whole not leaving thing, to be honest.
Mm. Sure.
I mean, unless my reading
Yeah.
comprehension is, subpar, pretty sure that means we're how do you say stuck?
Yes. And it seems that if we fix it so we can leave, then he will breathe. I don't know if that means that he will be free as well, but it means that he will breathe.
Well, let's fix it.
Sure. Let's see if they have any other little notes in their pockets about how to fix this spit. I'll go looking for more stuff.
Okay.
Should we roll?
No, you don't need to roll for that. You don't find any more notes. However, if you are interested, you do find 1 gold piece, three silver pieces, and 80 copper pieces. Ultimately,
Wow. It's like when you go to like the store.
I mean,
or, like,
collectively, out of
Wendy's or
all 3 of
something,
them, that's how much they have.
and you pay with a dollar bill, and you just now have a handful of change that you
I'll
don't
take the
know what
gold
to-
piece. You can have the others.
Sure, yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, so Jelania gets 1 gold piece, and Piotr gets 3 silver and 80 copper.
Which is the equivalent of 1.1 gold. So you get more cash. You just have the coins.
It's fair. Okay. Real quick, we're gonna return to our good friends Drith and Corvette.
All right. What are we doing?
Fine.
Confessing your sins.
Sorry, give me a second.
Apparently. Drith, we can't hear you. Or I can't hear you, at least.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can't hear you if you're talking.
Yeah, I have
Drith.
my mic turned down. There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, I confess that this place has no taste. It's just stone and more stone and some blood. Like, what do they do here? This is awful.
And this one apparently die, but let's just see why. I guess, are we just heading back downstairs with the others?
If you
Yeah,
want
let's
There's
go to
also
the
this-
basement. See, they
There's
said there were dead bodies in there. I want to see them.
Yeah, we're just gonna go to the basement.
Okay.
Follow the sound of Anya's voice.
So we're just gonna zoom you over to the basement since you know.
Hey, Anya, did you find anything down there?
So yeah, they are now with you. If you want to be able to, if you want to tell them what's going on, Anya.
We found out that the fog and the stuff that stopped us from leaving is the spit of an evil dead dragon god. Probably.
Okay.
Definitely not the
Okay.
breath.
Since Artyom isn't down here with us, I'm going to cast Detect Magic also. Well, I'm going to cast Detect Magic because he's pointed down to the left. I figure we're down to the left.
Okay.
From whence he said. So,
All right.
I cast that
You cast Detect Magic.
using my
The
Eldritch
3
Invocation.
The 3 corpses are glowing with necromantic magic.
Ooh.
You
Oh,
also
great.
Okay.
have an object over that direction that is glowing, and It's
What's that direction?
it is glowing with
Yeah,
illusionary magic over.
We can't see.
You can't see my
anything.
Yeah.
mouse. That's
Which-
right. It's
No.
over here. This thing.
Oh,
over
there's a
here.
door.
There's a door that you couldn't see before, but now is made apparent to you by your usage of Detect Magic.
Aha! Secret door, secret door. Can we go over to it and
Sure.
open it?
All right.
Guys, I found a secret door.
You walk over.
Magic.
You open it, and you see 3
Oh.
coffins,
Oh,
broken
great.
coffins. It's
I
in-
hate
Oh.
vampires.
This area looks different. This area does not same. I mean, despite the fact that it looks very similar on there, this area doesn't share the same architecture as the rest of the chapel. This area looks like it was actually built like kind of in haste. You figure. The walls are actually kind of a mixture of dirt and stone pillars. Using it to hold the dirt up. Your guess is that this was not built with the original cathedral.
Do you have any guess at how old it is?
Give me a history check.
Okay. Woo. Okay. Dang it. 12. It was almost 22. Got 12.
Yeah, you have no idea how old this area is.
Dwarf with stone cutting down here.
We got empty coffins over here.
Well, I'm gonna come over immediately. The word coffins.
I'm gonna call down the other 2 real quick.
They probably cannot hear you from where they're at.
I'm gonna try anyway.
Okay. Well, they cannot hear you
Well,
from where
darn
you're
it.
at, but all right.
Can confirm you
And
failed.
I think
They're standing up, start singing to each other.
Something about oak and skull crushing, smash, smash, smash.
All right. So you look into the So are you gonna look into the coffins, or are you just?
Yeah, I want to look
They-
it real
yeah.
close.
Coffins are empty.
we'll investigate. I thought it would be.
Do you
They
want to
look
roll? Do
smashed
you want to
open,
roll to
right?
investigate
Is
them?
there anything underneath?
Yes,
them?
Yes.
Okay. If you want to
Okay,
roll an
other dice.
investigation check,
This-
I'll let you. And then you
Yes.
can
Can
attempt.
I roll one too?
Go for it. I'm guessing.
Do
you
we
all-
both? Because I
Ooh.
got natural
Alright.
20, baby.
Ooh, mine's not as good for sure.
So I'm guessing Drith went back to the
19.
stairs to try. Oh, Drith is going to go investigate too. Okay. All right. Cool. The coffins look unused. There wasn't anything in them that you can guess. I mean, they look, they look old and and stuff from having been there for a long time. But they look unused. You don't really see anything. You do see lots of spider webs in this area though that you hadn't noticed before.
Yay.
Webs, okay.
Fun. Also, was the magic, when I cast detect magic, did it disappear when I walked through the door and opened it? Or is there
Yes,
still
it
something
disappeared.
around?
Yeah, the magic's gone now that you open the door. Everyone can see the door now. The door's no longer hidden.
Okay, so that's what it was. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So here my theory. The grave master dwarf man upstairs, he helped bring the coffins in. They're like, oh no, people died. Here, put it in the basement. And then they bust out and they do crazy things to ruin everyone's life.
Meaning the dead people did that.
The dead people, yes.
They got they're
Or they were just in the boxes pretending to be dead. It's not very hard to pretend to be dead. You just take a nap.
I breathe when I'm napping.
I feel
But
like
if
the
you're in a
grave
coffin,
people
no one
would
can
know.
see you breathe.
Valid.
What are you saying, Drith?
No, I just feel like if anyone can recognize a dead person, it's probably a gravekeeper.
This
But
is
that's a good point. Does anyone feel like there's an abnormal amount of spider webs in here?
Yeah, it's been it just kind of came into focus for me. I
Huh.
don't know.
Though here's the thing. There's 3 graves. Only 2 purple robed men. So unless the other man was in one of these 2 for some reason, there's another one somewhere else.
Well,
Do these coffins look like they were sealed and had been opened?
Yes.
Oh, yay!
sounds like a classic game of hide and seek. Is that
yeah,
what
yeah.
we're going to try? Guess in the graveyard. Are we gonna go find our new pal, and if one exists in here, and see what answers we can find from that?
I think
is
we
a good
ought
point.
to.
Maybe we should check over
Okay.
to the left over here where there's more room to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys head up this way.
And
Oh boy.
ooh,
That looks bad.
Secret tunnels. Secret tunnels. So yeah, you see a tunnel.
Secret tunnels.
You see, it looks like something. They broke a hole in there, and they started digging a tunnel.
I knew
Cool.
I smelled
Well, now it's time to go grab the others. We found the tunnel,
Yes.
and maybe make sure our other friend isn't around.
Alright, you wait here. I'll run really fast. I turn around and I run really, really as fast as I possibly can with my 30-foot speed.
Okay. All right. So we're
No
gonna come.
extra
pretty
speed
fast.
for me.
We'll go back up. You two said you were coming into this room, right?
Yep.
So you come in here. You see papers strewn everywhere. There is, on the desk, there is there's a letter, with an envelope with its seal broken, on the desk.
Can you zoom in a little bit?
Of course, I forgot.
Also, as we were walking in the room, I wanted to cast Detect Evil and Good.
Okay.
Which is exactly the same as Detect Magic, except for the duration, if there's an aberration, celestial elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of me, as well as where the creature is located. Similarly, you know if there is a place or object within 30 feet of you that has been magically consecrated or desecrated.
Nice.
All right. The altar has been magically desecrated.
will-
I'm gonna go like and kind of look back at it, and then kind of keep walking.
All right.
I will be.
All right. There's another letter here. I'm going to read it.
It is letter number 1.
Which what's the letter?
Letter number 1.
All right. I'm going to relate to RTM that it's the letter that Bishop Menov mentioned in his diary from the Patriarch, saying that he didn't send anybody.
I'm gonna sit here, stroke my character's beard a little bit, and I'm going to turn around and I'm going to walk out the door back to in front of the altar.
Aeox taking the letter and then also walking back out.
All right.
Unless there's anything else of note in the room, he's gonna make a quick investigation check. Actually, no, he'll just do perception. See if anything looks out of place, and if it does, then he'll do investigation.
Okay, give me a perception check.
That is 13.
Nothing appears to be out of place. Not that you can see.
He's walking out then.
All right.
We lost a mic again. Nope, we lost
We
Lydia.
lost Lydia.
Nope.
There we go.
Good.
Cool.
Spoofed.
You're good. All right.
So,
Cool.
I want to start slowly walking back down all the way to the entrance door. And I guess I'm going to run into Lydia at some point, or excuse me, Anya at some point walking downwards.
Yeah. So as you're walking back, Jelania comes and gets you, and lets you know that they found the tunnel. I'm just gonna move you guys downstairs.
Wait, give me 1 second. One
Okay.
second. I'll catch up.
All right.
I want to peek out the
So
door and
downstairs. Go ahead.
go. Oh, no, you go ahead. Tell me what's going on.
I was gonna interrupt you and tell you what's going on downstairs. We found the dead bodies, and there's like a ritual that makes the spit of Morphus be all over, which stop people from leaving. We found a secret door. There are 3 graves, 3 coffins. We think we only have 2 of the dead ones, and there's a secret tunnel that goes somewhere. Lots of spider webs.
Oh,
Could be a problem.
so now that I know, wait, 2 dead ones. You mean of the purple robed individuals that the dwarf mentioned?
Yes. Yes.
What was the other one wearing?
He was wearing stuff kind of like yours.
Okay, so as opposed to like slowly moseying to the door, because I was gonna go ask the dwarf a question. Now I don't have a question for the dwarf. I'm gonna run out and I'm gonna stick my head out and see if the dwarf's still out here.
Yeah, the door's still out there. He looks up. You're not dead yet.
No.
Huh?
Does he give off like evil?
No, he does not give off any evil with your spell.
Okay, I just had to check. And then I'm gonna start. So has everyone else gone downstairs? Anya, are you back downstairs?
I'm waiting for you. Where's Kadiak?
I moved him downstairs already.
Okay.
I'll be downstairs. I'm gonna crush the purple robes guys' skulls as I walk by. Just go shunk, shunk.
Okay.
I'm gonna look up, like start walking normally towards the door, and then I'm gonna look up, and I'm gonna see Anya, and kind of like angle myself and go, "Oh no, a pube! Ow! Little help."
Sure. Can I make like an insight check at this point? Like this seems a little fishy.
Go for it. And give
He
me
seems to be so competent, and then he utterly fails.
give me an opposed deception check, Artyom. And just for the sake of getting everyone grouped together, I'm gonna just move downstairs. You guys are still upstairs, but
It's not gonna be good enough.
I got a 19.
I got a 7.
you
You gotta
are
be careful. There's like gravel and stuff to make you trip here. Do you want to hold on to my?
Sword?
I'll help you.
all right.
Here's your sword.
So y'all head back downstairs, and you head towards
Yes.
Okay, so you walk past. You watch Caddy stomp on some skulls as he's walking past.
The
You
bishops, though, just the purple guys.
you don't stomp on the bishop's skulls. Bishop's skull, or the person you assume to be the bishop's skull. All right. Okay, so are you all gonna try to go through the tunnel?
Yes. Secret tunnels.
All right.
Right.
Who's going through the tunnel? Who's gonna try to go first?
Not me.
So I'm gonna wild shape into a giant wolf spider and lead the way.
Oh, gross.
Okay.
Oh. What the?
All right.
Like that's creepy
So you-
and cool.
Out of nowhere, you just
No
see me
reveal.
animorphs like my way down the tunnel,
Ah!
and I turn and look at everyone. I
I
go,
have a question, by the way.
Yes, Adam.
Do I detect any evil?
No, not you do not.
Let me know if I detect any
I will
evil.
let you know if you detect any evil.
Also, asking for Corvette, does he detect any magic besides,
He does
Besides
not
what we've
detect.
already
He does not detect any magic besides what he's detected. So
Thank you.
Drith's going first. Who's going after Drith?
I mean, I was
I will.
very
I'll follow
welcome to
after.
it. I'm gonna keep my
Bye.
distance from the giant freaky spider person.
I'm like, you're still Drith, right? You're
I
Your
look
Drith
at him and my
knows-
pictures just go like,
sure. I'll take that as a yes. And you haven't attacked me yet, so we're good. So
It's like Daniel
I-
did like Harry Potter and Half-Blood Prince.
yeah.
All right. Okay, and then who's after? So you're lagging behind. Okay, who else? Who's next? Going after Corvette and Drith.
The rear as well.
I'm sorry, what was that, Mike?
I'll take up the rear. Let's stick the blind man in the middle.
Okay. And Piotr, where are you gonna stand?
hey man, you haven't rolled an insight check.
I will stay in the back with Anya and Kadiak.
This is a great place for our tanks.
Okay.
I know.
All right. So as you head
Okay.
towards
go.
the tunnel, you hear the chittering of spiders, and
We have one.
the webs begin to shake, and 3 spiders descend around you. And with
Descent. Oh,
that, we're gonna take our break right there, and we will roll initiative when we come back.
Nice.
Okay.
no, I don't get to keep my night. Oh,
All right.
dang it.
All right. We'll be right
That was
back. We're gonna
good
take
roll.
about 10 minutes, and we'll be back in a bit. And the spilling of blood is strictly forbidden. At the dawn of time, the dragon god. All right, welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed those videos. I understand that I probably need to mess with them a little bit more, as some of the sound quality wasn't up to par. But I don't have Mike's video again. Give me 1 second. I know what I have to do.
Sorry.
You're good. No, it's a
Adam
it's
tried
a
the moment.
it's a Discord problem. It's not a you problem. It's a Discord problem. If someone hops out and then hops back into the video, then it screws up the video on my end. So I have to hop back out and hop back in. But anyway, cool. So left off with oh, real quick, Brayden, you can give your shout out.
Oh, shout out, Chris, Spider Mission. Thank you so much. Love it.
It's great.
That's Spider-Man 3, Spider Mission.
Ooh, there we go.
No, that would be like a prequel.
It'd be
Okay.
like Lion King 1.5.
From the perspective of Aunt May.
All right.
The guy in the chair.
Okay, so now we're gonna pick up with initiative. Everyone give me their initiative rolls.
Oh, gosh. I'm so mad. I had a good initiative.
Oh, shoot. That's so bad.
Sweet.
Oh, yay.
How am I?
Okay, Artyom, what you roll?
10.
Jelania.
6.
Kadiak. Kadiak.
He didn't.
4. Can you not hear me? Hold on.
I can hear
Now
you
we
now.
No,
We can hear you now.
Corvette.
Okay, 4.
18.
Drith.
Oh.
8.
Come on, guys.
Piotr.
A solid 8.
right.
Oh.
Drith. Piotr. Who's going first?
I'm going first.
Okay then.
Yeah, he is.
All right, so Corvette is first, followed by
Oh,
Artyom,
gosh.
followed by enemies, followed by Piotr. No, sorry, followed by Drith, followed by Piotr, followed by Jelania, followed by Kadiak. So, Corvette, you're first, and Artyom, you are on deck.
That's
All
what I
right.
call it.
There we Call it what?
A big oof.
What? Having the Warlock go first? We'll see.
No,
Um,
you and me and then all the bad guys.
Yeah. Okay, I turn around because I'm about to go into the tunnel, but I turn around when the spiders drop, and I instinctively or reflexively cast on the closest one to me, the one amidst right next to everyone. As a bonus action, I cast Hexblade's Curse on it.
Okay.
And then I run up next to it, just 5 feet. And then I attack him with my spear.
Okay. Roll to
Come
hit.
on, Eladin. Natural
Come on,
20.
Howard.
Oh my
What?
gosh.
I got a natural
Very
20.
nice.
All
I
right.
wish I could
Roll double
so what do I
damage.
do?
So you
Do I
roll
do
you roll your weapon dice. You roll any number of dice you're rolling, you roll them twice.
Okay, 2d6s then. So 6 and a 5.
Okay,
Wow.
Then add your strength.
And then wait, so that's 11 plus 15. Charisma for me.
Charisma for you. Okay, so that's 15. Okay.
Oh, and then wait. And then for Hexblade's Curse, once per short rest, choose one creature you see within 30 feet. For 1 minute, curse it. You gain +2 bonus to damage rolls, score a critical hit on a roll of 19 or 20, and you regain 6 HP if it dies. Well, that's what I would. So, 17 damage?
All right, 17 damage. So you stab your spear. You get a good strike into its thorax and pull it out. It's kind of twitching. It's not dead yet, but you have done a crap ton of damage to that spider. Artyom, it is your turn.
I'm gonna hear the squish and go, oh. And I'm gonna cast Toll the Dead. I point at one creature I can sense within range, and the sound of a Dolores bell, which is I looked Dolores up. I think I'm probably saying it wrong. Dolores,
Dolores,
Dolorous.
Yeah, I'm done.
Dolores. Yeah.
Very sad. Grief. Anyway, the sound of the bell fills the air around it for a moment. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw, take 1d8 necrotic damage. If the target is missing any of its hit points, it takes 1d12 necrotic damage.
That spider is definitely missing hit points. Are you doing the one that you're doing the one that Corvette hit?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I definitely failed that saving throw. Okay, so do your damage.
10. I got 10 of them.
All right, describe to me how this spider dies.
Ooh, yes.
It's going to like curl up. You know how spiders like you find them curled up all dead, right? And it's going to like
Yeah, I know.
chitter such. Anyway, chitter like sadly. If a spider can chitter sadly and lay like flip over on its back and just
All right. Okay. And now it is the spider's turn, and on deck is Drith. Okay, so this spider.
I would gain HP from that death, but I'm not hurt, so
This spider's going to
That's fine.
approach. Oh no, not going to approach first. Sorry, the spider is going to shoot its back up, and webbing flies out towards Piotr. So Piotr, I need you to give me a DC 12 strength check.
Nice.
Oh no, never mind. You actually don't actually get to make a saving throw versus being restrained. You can just make a saving throw on your turn to not be. So you're webbed. So you are restrained by the webbing. Yeah, you don't actually make a saving throw to not be not be webbed. Okay, cool. So you're restrained by the webbing.
hashtag
there. And the spider's going to come up towards Corvit and attack Corvit with its bite.
don't bite me.
Help! I'm being repressed.
Does a 16 hit?
I use my reaction and cast shield.
So
Plus
no.
5 to AC, so
The
no.
16 does not hit you. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
The next spider is going to use webbing on Jelania. And then move up to attack Artyom, since they have proven to be the most threats. Does a 20 hit you, Artyom?
Yes.
Okay, that's going to be 4 points of piercing damage. I need you to make a DC 11 Constitution saving throw.
Constitution. Let me double check. I gotta scroll up. I got a 13
Okay.
when
so
all is told.
you resist the poisonous effect of the spider's bite. It is now Drith's turn.
So Drith is going to go over to the spider that's attacking Artyom. And he is going to say in spider language, he's going to click at it, you stay away from that handy capable man. And then
The spider does not seem to acknowledge your speech.
I'm surprised that spiders have a word for handy capable.
it was phonetic. It's a 14 hit.
14. Does that hit the spider? That does hit the spider.
Okay, he has to make a DC 11 Constitution saving throw.
You don't say.
Oh, he does.
He succeeds.
Oh, rats. Okay, well, anyway, he takes 3 damage from a bite.
Okay.
Using its own weapon against it. Way to go.
Patrick, I can't
Right.
see your stream.
You can't see my.
I
don't
can
know
see his stream.
Yeah, I can see it.
Well,
See, sounds like a you problem.
Last time you
I don't
tried
know
to-
what to do, Ian. I mean, click on it
No,
again.
it's cool. It's cool. I'll just theater remind it.
Oh, click on it. Can you see it now? Try clicking on it.
I mean, it's yeah.
Or get your phone and pull up the Twitch stream.
Nice.
It's a good idea. Genius. Genius Mike. All right. Sorry, that was rude. I didn't mean to be that rude. Sorry. Piotr, it's your turn with Jelania on deck.
No spiders are right next to you, if that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good because I don't like death.
You're 10 feet away from both spiders.
Yep.
Restrained.
I'm gonna
All
leave it
woke
that way. I am going to give out some bardic inspiration. Let me double check that. Just the rules. Who is fighting a spider?
Wait, you're
right now?
restrained. You need to break out of the spider web before you can do anything.
Son of a.
Before you can do anything, usually restraints just, disadvantage on attack rolls and like.
Can't
you
I
can't
just like
move.
cheerlead? You can do it.
Yeah, I think actually that makes
You got
sense.
this,
Let
bro.
me look up restrained real quick.
I mean, if I can do bardic inspiration and attempt to break out of the restraint in the same turn, I'll do both. I don't care.
I guess I was more trying. Yeah, you're right. Restrained creature speed 0. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you do have. Cool. You have to. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So yeah, you just have to. Yeah, I'm just reminding you are restrained. You can give. Yeah, you can give.
Yeah, that was a good reminder because I had forgotten. So
Lydia is correct.
cool. So
Changing my whole turn on that.
Yeah, no, you're good.
who is? Well, first off, let's try to break out real quick. I wish I could read. My name's Ian, and I never learned how to read. Checking on my bonus. Okay, so that is a 19 to break out of the stinking web.
Okay. That will break you out of the stinking web.
It will.
Yes, it will.
Dope. Okay. Now, I'm basically gonna do the same thing. Sorry, who's fighting a spider right now?
Everyone.
All of us.
I mean, the
Yeah.
spiders are adjacent to literally everyone but you.
Nice. All right. I'm gonna give out a die of bardic inspiration to the person nearest me.
So, Kadiak.
Kadiak.
Right,
Sweet.
Kadiak. You have a die of bardic inspiration.
And as I'm like just sitting there, kind of like strumming the lute, just like encouraging, like trying to like figure out some chords and some things, and figure out a way to make
Tuning
it
the
all
lute.
musically. What?
Tuning your lute.
This is gonna be very inspiring once it all sounds good. I swear.
All right. So,
Is the inspiration die a D4 or D6? I can't remember.
it's a D6.
I think it starts at D6.
D6, I'm like 12,000% sure.
Yeah, it's a D6.
Awesome.
All right, Shalanya, it's your turn with Kadiak on deck.
All right, screw trying to break out. I'm going after this spider.
Okay.
I know I get disadvantage for being restrained, but I'm flanking with Drith, so I get advantage.
So you
it's
just make a
just straight
normal attack roll. Yep.
So I'm gonna try and stab this thing in his stupid eyes.
Okay, roll.
First one is a 17,
That will hit.
and the second one is only an 11.
But you have straight. It's just a straight roll because you have.
Yeah,
advantage
that was
in
for the
strat.
second attack.
Oh, the second attack. Gotcha.
'Cause I
Okay.
have two,
Second attack
so-
will not hit, but the first attack will.
Yeah, okay. Alright. So the first that attack is 5 points of slashing damage. I'm just trying to like whoosh, just kind of going across the top of it.
Okay.
My feet are webbed to the floor. This is gross. That's my turn.
All right. Kadiak, it is your turn with Corvette on deck.
Into a spider, right?
Yes.
I am. Awesome. And I have advantage because of
Flanking.
flanking, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Kadiak is just going to wail on him with his maul. That will be a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
And that will be 8 damage.
All right. So you hear some mild crunching as as the carapace begins to give way. However, you aren't making any major headway trying to break in. Okay, Corvette, it is your turn. With
Before that,
oh,
I'm
sorry.
going to do bonus action to actually enter my combat trance or rage, as it's called.
Okay.
Become a barbarian. And I should do that.
Sounds like a good plan.
Exactly. So that actually did 10 damage.
Okay. Still no breaking of the carapace, just light crunching.
I figured, but
All right,
it's
Corvette.
2 more damage.
All
Corvette?
right. So after had that deep, I don't know, that's really strong lunging attack, and after the spider comes up, I turn towards it and I try to sweep its legs with my spear.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. Let's see.
So you're attempting to like knock it prone or something, or are
Okay, no, I'm gonna attack it
Okay.
by whacking it with my spear, essentially.
Gotcha. Okay. Roll to hit.
Does an 18 hit?
Yes.
Cool. And 1d6, no crit or nothing this time. So, 7 damage.
Okay. Sorry, math, not my strong suit. Okay, cool. All right, it is now. So again, light carapace crunching. Not really any breakage. It is now Artyom's turn. With not zombies, spiders on deck.
Zombies.
With the zombies on deck, guys, here they come. Sorry, kidding.
I am going to cast Toll of the Dead. The Dolores Bell again.
Okay.
Dolores. And on that one, and that's to my right,
Okay, well,
it's taking damage, right?
yes, both of them have
Okay.
taken damage, and they both failed. Oh, it failed. Sorry, it failed.
Make your saving throw.
I did. It failed.
10 again.
All right.
10. Probably couldn't see that, but
Spider seems to be in a lot of pain. Yeah, I can't see anything right now. I have so many screens up that I don't see you guys. But Spider's in pain. Appears to be in a vast amount of pain. However, it goes to make a bite against Jelania. So it has advantage because she's still restrained.
Bring it.
She is the spider is going to hit Jelania for 7 points of piercing damage. I need a DC 11 Constitution saving throw from Jelania.
Oh, that's like a 19. No, it's a 21.
Okay, then you do
Take
not take
that.
the poison damage.
But that did hurt a lot.
Yeah. The next spider is going to bite Corvette, and does a sorry, does a 23 hit you, Corvette?
Oh! Yeah, I'm not going to use another spell. Yes, it hits.
I think you're out of spell slots. I mean, because you cast Detect Magic.
I
and-
have Detect Magic is my second
Oh.
Eldritch Invitation
Gotcha.
that I took. So
Okay, you take 9 points of piercing damage. I need a DC 11 Constitution saving throw.
oh boy, you said 9?
Yeah, I said 9.
Oof. Okay, but you said Constitution saving throw, right?
Correct.
Come on, baby. 17.
Okay, so you succeed. So you do not take the poison damage.
Ah.
The round now passes to Drith with Piotr on deck.
All right, so I'm gonna dig my fangs into its thorax, the one that's right in front of me.
Okay.
Not 20.
Nice.
Okay.
Yes.
Don't even bother to roll because it's dead no matter what at this point. Tell me how you did
Okay,
it.
so I am gonna dig my fangs right into it, and then I'm gonna suck it dry. And then while I'm doing that, I use 3 of my eyes to wink at Artyom, Kadion, and Anya.
Gross.
So I'm just like sucking it up like, with my straw fangs and like.
Oh my gosh. And with that single move, Drith has become the most terrifying member of the party. Okay.
chat doesn't like that.
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be like creeped out, terrified, or like entranced by being winked at.
You could be all three.
In that context, you just have no idea what that means.
Alright.
Just
Piotr,
But,
it's your turn. With Shalanya on deck.
I am going to cast Vicious Mockery. Wait, yeah. I'm just double checking.
Okay.
Sorry, I literally just changed.
Because the
my
last
mind.
time you tried to cast Vicious Mockery didn't work on the skeletons, so you want to make sure that the spiders are intelligent enough to be insulted.
It's just psychic damage.
No,
It's his medium.
I am positive that Vicious Mockery works on spiders. They don't have to understand you. It just doesn't work on. It doesn't work on. Yep. Though, yeah.
Undead.
Okay. It must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or take 1d4 psychic damage. So,
What's the Wisdom saving throw
Where-
number?
Good question. What is my saving spell? Where's my DC?
It should be 8 plus your ability
Plus
score
the modifier.
modifier plus your proficiency bonus. So it should be like 14 or 13 at this level.
It is 13.
Okay. It succeeded. So it takes no damage from your mockery. Shalanya,
Finger guns.
it is your turn with Kadiak on
Okay.
deck.
I probably gotta move now, so I probably gotta try and break out. But what I actually think I'm gonna do is if I try and break out, I'm not gonna be able to attack. I'm gonna pull out my crossbow from like underneath the holstered around my back, and I'm gonna fire that. Do
Okay.
I get disadvantage on this one too?
Yes.
Okay. Oh boy. That's a 7.
That will not hit.
So and that's about all I can do unless I'm gonna action surge.
Okay.
I won't do that.
All right.
Okay.
Kadiak, it is your turn with Corvid on deck.
Already me again?
Can I help as a bonus action? Just like kick the webbing, loosen it up a little bit as I walk by to go and smash the other spider.
Yes, let's kick the sticky crap at everybody else's feet.
No, the
Or,
help
you know what I mean.
help is an action.
Help is full action.
Full action.
In that case, sorry, Anya. He's just gonna go over and smash the spider.
Thank you.
All right.
I am the warlock here. I am not the tanky one.
Roll the hit.
All right, that will be, and I'm getting advantage because of flanking, right?
Correct. No, you're not flanking him. You're not in a flanking position.
Not flanking.
Yeah, not
That'd
flanking.
be
So just
ex-
regular hit.
But you could
I mean,
go
do you
and
want to
flank.
move to a flanking position?
Great.
Okay, moving you to a flanking position. All right, roll a hit.
16.
Okay, that will hit.
Great. And let's do 10 damage.
Again,
Nope,
more
sorry.
more
12
crunching.
damage. 12 damage.
12 damage. Okay, more crunching.
12
You
damage.
see cracking in the carapace, but again, no actual breakage. Corvette, it is your turn.
All right, where did the spider hit me? Where did it bite me? Just wondering.
In your leg.
Not my favorite trousers. Gosh dang it. As
Tourniquet.
Saint's breath, as I, take a nice stab at its face. And do I get advantage on this one
Yes.
because of flanking? Sweet. Oh. 8. The other one was a nat 1. So
You do not hit.
no. Dang it.
All right, Artyom.
In my rage and fury, I overswing that and miss. My nice clothes.
All right, Artyom, it is your turn with the spider on deck.
Yep. I'm gonna walk up just underneath Corvette and do my own spider smashing.
Okay. Roll to hit.
8.
Yeah, that won't hit either.
I can't see you.
We all quickly glance and give him a look.
Ting. Missed.
His hammer comes down and hits the stone floor, creating a few cracks in the tiles.
Am I helping?
The spider is going. Spider's turn. Spider's going to attack Corvette with. It is Piotr on deck. No, Drith on deck. Sorry. Spider is going to attack Corvette. Does a 20 hit you?
Yes, take it.
Okay. All right. It hits you for.
If it was one less, I would have. Oh wait, no, never mind.
It hits you for 6 points of damage. I need a DC piercing damage. DC Constitution 11 saving throw.
I got 10.
Oof. That is an addition. That is 11 points of poison damage. I'm pretty sure you're unconscious.
I am unconscious. Everyone, I am down. I need help.
So you watch the spider full on like lunge and knock Corvette to the ground and just start biting into his chest. And it is now the turn of Drith with Piotr on deck.
Yeah, so Drith is just gonna go over and like go around the body of Corvette really respectfully.
As respectfully as a spider can.
And he's just gonna lunge at the spider. Shoot. I'm guessing a 5 does not hit.
A 5 does not hit.
No.
Yeah, he's really upset at the loss of his dear friend Corvette.
Yes, buddies.
All right, Piotr, it is your turn.
He's just giving him up as dead already. Just like, oh wow.
He's checking him out to see if he can like suck him dry or anything. Just like
I'm going to cast Healing Word on Corvette.
All right, so roll your 1d4 plus. Does a Healing Word get any pluses?
My whatever that is.
Yeah, plus your spellcasting, so plus your charisma modifier.
So we got 2 plus 2, so 5 in total.
So you're back to 5 HP. So Corvette is no longer unconscious. Corvette kind of like, as his eyes open and he takes a deep breath, shoves the spider off him. The spider skitters back into its position. That was a bonus action, so you still have an action left. So you can do something else, Piotr. That's why Healing Word is one of the most broken healing spells in the game.
That is awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I actually hadn't planned for that being a bonus action. I'll just hold my action.
Okay. Jelania, it is your turn with Kadiak on deck.
Try and break out of these stupid webs then.
Okay.
What is that, a strength check?
It is a strength check, DC 12.
Okay. That's a natural 19.
All right. You are out of the webs. That is an action.
Great. I'm going to go over to the left of Artyom just to give Drith flanking.
Okay. All right. It is now the turn of Kadiak.
Great. So, in his battle trance, Kadiak, you'll all notice he's chanting in a language none of you understand because it's the language of his tribe, but that's what he's doing as he goes ahead and mauls the spider. With advantage is 15 to hit.
That will hit.
That was a 15 hit.
Okay. All right, roll for damage. Or was that 15 damage you just rolled?
Hit. That'll be 12 damage.
Okay. Tell me how you do it.
Ah, thank goodness.
With a overhead swing, two-handed overhead swing. The maul is just gonna gonna flatten the center of the spider's back, and all 8 legs go from the force of it as it gets crushed. And Kadiak is going to slowly pick the hammer up and sink back into a ready stance, and a low rumble is going to come from him as he exits the battle trance.
All right. So the spiders all lay crushed
almost.
or dead at your feet. Several of you have taken some, pretty heavy damage. Corvid is obviously bleeding from the piercing wounds on his chest. I mean, not as much anymore because of the healing word he received. But some of you are not in the greatest
Now
shape.
it's on my chest, not my vest too. Gosh dang this. Hopefully this town has a cleaners or something like that.
Who all's hurt?
I mean, I'm a little hurt.
I'm not.
Not super bad, but just a little bit.
Very.
Drith shakes his head.
Okay.
Spider.
I'll walk over. I'm gonna put my hand on Corbett's shoulder. I'm gonna use my healing hands. As an action, you can touch a creature and cause it to regain hit points equal to your level once per long rest. And that combined with my Disciple of Life. Oh wait, no, because that uses spells. Healing hands isn't a spell; it's a feature. Have 2 hit points.
Have 2 hit points.
I'm had.
Here you go.
You were gonna get banned.
5.
All right.
Magic band-aid.
Dude, you didn't even have the Neosporin.
It's like that meme where it's like overworked employees pizza party. It's like half dead companion, 2 HP.
2 HP. All right.
Hang on. Let me look that up. Make certain I copied it
I'm
down.
pretty
right.
sure. I'm pretty sure it's more
I
hit
think
points
that's
than
about
that.
right. I think it's just 1 per level.
No, yeah, that features 1 per level.
Yep. Okay. Oh yeah. So you give him 2 hit points back.
Okay, awesome. I got this, guys.
When you're healing
We're
a
good.
4 hit point wizard, that is a lot, but
We've got
Alright.
this.
Cool. So I'm assuming that. Is there anything else that anyone wants to do before you enter the secret tunnels?
Take a nap for 8 hours.
I thought this was first thing in the morning that we were doing this.
Yeah.
You need to
It's
go to bed already.
Sometimes you waste all your spell slots before lunch.
Well, it's a good thing you got cantrips then, don't ya?
Everywhere else
he's ready to go. He's like, all right, let's move.
All right.
Let's go.
Okay.
Corbett will situate himself comfortably in the middle of the group somewhere.
Okay, yeah. So let's get
Not
a
at the front or the back for now.
let's get a defined marching order. So Corvett's gonna be in the middle. Who's gonna take the front?
I will not
Drith
be in
will
the
again.
front, but I'll be in right in front of Corvette.
Okay. So right in front of.
How
Corvette.
high are the ceilings of the tunnel?
Tall enough for a man to walk in. So not super tall. Probably like 6-7 feet.
Drith is gonna walk on the ceiling just for fun.
And
what
you're
he's
gonna
still
be
gonna do.
you're gonna be in the front. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay. Artyom, Piotr, and Kadiak.
I
Where do you
will
want
as
to
well.
be? You will
But
also be in the front.
Kadiak in
Kadiak's
front.
Okay.
Yeah.
Artyom
In the middle.
and Piotr in the back.
Yep.
All right, cool. Now I know who to ambush. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so you go through. You start.
We get Piotr out of his living.
Yeah, Piotr broke out on his own.
Yeah.
I believe. I mean, I'd assume that if you didn't
I've been
break
having
out on his own,
out-of-body
you probably.
experience this whole time.
if you didn't break him out, you probably cut him out at some point. So even if So anyway,
Okay.
so yeah, you begin to head through the tunnel. So the tunnel is clearly, Kadiak especially can tell this. The tunnel is clearly man-made, not made by any form of animal or anything. As every once in a while, there's wood frames to kind of support it. And it seems to stretch forever. You are walking in this tunnel for hours and hours.
Wait.
What is the
So wild shape only lasts for 1 hour. So at one point, Drith just like falls from the ceiling back in human form.
Flops on his back.
Is it what's the lighting in here like?
If you have dark vision, you're fine. If you don't have dark vision, you're not okay. Is anyone going to be helping lead the blind man?
I will
The blind men.
I will cast the light cantrip.
Okay.
That'll work.
There you go. Cool.
And yeah. And what am I touching? Oh, I gotta touch something. Who wants a glowing sword? Anya, want a glowing sword?
Sure. Which one?
My maul if you want.
Take one. Whoever's
Maybe.
oh yeah, no, take them all. Them all. He's leading. He's up front.
This is a better
Yeah.
idea.
Okay. All right. So,
So.
how long does that last? Like an hour?
Yeah.
All right. So
But it's a cantrip.
you
so
do
that's
have
nice.
to, yeah, you will have to recast it again at some point, because
Yeah.
of how long the journey is. So Artyom,
So we totally
Or
could.
blue thread, right?
I'm sorry, what did you say, Adam?
We totally could have napped.
So Artyom, how are you navigating through this tunnel? Out of curiosity, are you confidently trying to walk through, or are you like holding on to someone, or what are you doing?
Secret tunnel. I'm gonna like, for the first little bit, start super confident, like, normally confidently, and then I'm gonna go, oh, and I'm gonna like pause for a rest, and like suspiciously long enough for everyone else to keep going, and then go, wait, come back, I can't hear you anymore, guys, help.
Okay, so then, all right, so you all come back to retrieve Artyom.
Yes.
Are you gonna try to hold on to someone, or
You can
I'm
put
gonna-
your hand on my
I'm-
shoulder.
I'm gonna put my hand over on the wall if I can, and then over on Anya's shoulder very lightly.
So
And just kind of like sigh, kind of exasperatedly, sigh in exasperation.
So I turn to Art and I say, "Hey, you're a man of the cloth, right?"
I am a man wearing cloth.
Oh. No, you mean you're religious.
Yes.
Well, you might want to watch out. The woman next to you, she's pretty horny.
Wow, a horny joke. It's not like I haven't heard that 10,000 times in my lifetime.
I did not see that coming.
I didn't either.
I'm just shocked that Drift of all. I was like, huh? The guy who's always taking notes of architecture just pulled that out.
And Drift laughs.
I would
and
just like to
keeps
point
walking
out,
along.
out of character,
Ian didn't make the joke.
that wasn't me.
Sorry, I need to go see the chat reaction real quick. Oh, there was no chat
Right.
reaction.
No chat reaction. Well, because they've all been thinking it the whole time. There's like, yeah, nothing new.
Somebody's gotta say it.
Horns.
All right.
No, it's a tiefling.
Yeah, I have
joke.
heard these jokes.
We
a
can't have a
1,000
campaign
times.
without with a tiefling without that joke.
This stream was
To my mother.
not brought to you by Dr. Pepper, but it could be.
Okay, anyway, sorry. So Shalana, what's your reaction to that joke?
My reaction is, wow, I have heard that never before in my life. Wow. Very
Was that a
original
good-
joke. It's very
Insight
true
roll.
thing too.
See if she's.
I am a very
sarcasm.
horny person.
I mean, there's no need for an insight check on that. She is very sarcastic. Clearly
Well,
not
I totally
amused.
agree.
Not attempting to deceive.
I'm gonna like take my hand off of her shoulder and just kind of shake my head at Drift. Nah, man.
Laughs, and Ethan just laughs really loudly. You can hear it echoing down the cave, and just keeps walking.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
I'm
quick-
also probably significantly
casually-
younger than most of you people. To make it even better.
Somebody's gonna get stabbed.
All right.
Yeah,
Shank
Kadak
body.
is just gonna casually drop his maul on Drift's foot. Oops, sorry.
What did you're not blind? Goodness gracious!
Nope.
All right.
The light dips a little bit as he does that.
Okay. So continuing down the tunnel for several hours. It kind of gets silent after that as
Yeah,
everyone is kind of
He,
just
he
like,
says it right at the beginning, so the next few hours are just in painful silence.
Oh, I don't think I would let it be painful silence. After a while, I'd be like, so do we think we are walking all the way out of this area? Or are we going out into Morvir? Or are we like
Dwarves can
going
talk to
to a
rocks.
secret
can't they?
den? Yeah, you can tell us what the rocks say.
Can dwarves talk to rocks?
Can't.
I can't talk to rocks. No.
Well, I'm sure you could talk to
However-
them. It's whether or not they talk back to you, huh?
But because of my various journeys that I've had, I can tell that we have been going Patrick insert
North.
length
A
of
plot appropriate distance.
yeah, plot purposes.
no more than a few miles. Like
And
the
I can't-
tunnels are kind of twisty and turny, so it's not like a
Okay.
large distance. You haven't gone like, it's about a few miles. Yeah.
Sorry, if I forget, are these? Do they look man-made or are they look natural?
Man-made.
Okay,
They're definitely
thanks.
man-made, and I'm going to point that out as well. They're man-made tunnels. We've only gone a few miles. We're heading generally in a single direction though, so I imagine this is a way out of the fog.
So they just had a tunnel out. They didn't try that for 3 years.
I think this is how they got in.
I thought they got in the coffins.
Who knows?
Unless there is one left. Maybe he has been making this tunnel in the last 3 years. This is how he escapes.
I guess that's true. We didn't see the dead body in the bell tower. Maybe he wasn't dead.
Oops.
All right.
Totally
Is
forgot that.
Piotr playing just playing his lute while we walk?
Yeah, I'm trying. As I go along, I'm just kind of like muttering to myself and kind of like strumming on strings, trying to come up with a. I'm trying to like ad lib, if you will, a ballad of our adventure thus far.
Piotr can't actually play the lute.
All right. So moving forward a little bit. So as you continue to banter and talk with each other as you go through, and eventually you come to it looks like they're stairs that are made out of stone that lead upwards. And there's and as you look up at these stairs, you see a stone. You see a stone slab.
Honeydukes.
Knock, knock, knock.
Does it look like a
I-
cellar door sort of slab, or is it like a rough-hewn rock that fell in the way, or what?
I mean, it's not like a cellar door, but it's like, I mean, it's obviously a carved stone thing, like a tile of esque.
It's
stone
covering
tile.
it.
It's covering the exit.
All
Alright,
right, who
Drizzt
wants
is
to
gonna
open
try to
it?
move.
Well, where do you think it's gonna show up?
Outside the town, at least, right?
You haven't. Yeah,
For sure.
you haven't gone. You haven't gone far enough to be outside the valley. That much you are confident of.
Could it
But-
maybe be inside the castle?
I was just thinking that. Do we all know about that?
By the
I
castle.
Was the
so.
sheriff?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
know
man.
the castle.
I'm just trying to remember what we don't know.
No, you're good. Yeah, no,
Okay.
you all know about the castle.
Yeah. I that's what I was thinking. Was this maybe we're there? See what's inside.
So is anyone
Go from
gonna-
a spooky chapel to a spooky castle. Here we go.
So you're
Okay,
alright. So,
let's lift this up.
who's gonna be trying? Who's gonna try moving it?
We'll try to move it.
I
I'll help.
gesture Kadiak.
I'm buff.
go.
I'm buff too, kind of.
All right. So it's not very difficult to
Is
move,
that-
particularly all together. You all move it, and you find yourself in this, this octagonal shaped building. That is an octagon, right? Sorry, I'm bad with math. No, that's a hexagon, isn't it?
No, it's octagon.
That's
You're
octagon.
right.
Sorry, I'm bad with math and geometry and stuff, guys.
It's a stop
And
sign.
so one of the slab in front of that statue that you can see pops open, and you walk out. And if you choose to go out, you clearly see that you are in a graveyard.
What's the
Nice.
statue look like?
So the statue looks like what it is. It's a winged figure. Commonly, angels are used as carvings of angels are created as protective figures, particularly in graveyards. So this is an angel. It has an inscription on the bottom, saying this is a shrine intended to invoke protective spirits for the graveyard. However, you are fairly confident it hasn't been working recently, due to the fact that the dead have been rising again. But
Is the fog in the graveyard, or is it staying
yes,
outside the gates?
there is fog throughout the graveyard. It's probably probably about mid-afternoon at this point. How long you've been walking?
It's the spit in the air.
That is an image that I've been trying not to think of, Anya.
Are you sure it's not the breath
It said the spit.
and breath?
I mean, it's all the
Spit
same.
and the breath.
I mean, it is a
Disgusting.
southern god, so spit would make sense.
Griff
feel
laughs really loud.
So,
You're going to have to tell us about the northern gods and if they are not spitty. Are they very dehydrated? Do you not drink water?
I can tell
In
you
the
that they aren't spitty.
And Drith makes a note and he writes to himself, Northern gods don't have salivary glands.
All right.
I am beginning to think that the Gravemaker man is maybe more involved than he said because we are in the graveyard.
And
We're in a graveyard. What's surrounding the? Well, I see trees on this map, but can we see the town in the distance or anything like that?
So here, let me pull open the valley map.
Here
So
we go.
you cannot see the town. If you pull out I believe Corvette, you're the one who had the valley map. So you pull up the valley map, you can see the castle in the distance. You can't see the towns. The town's below the
Oh.
cliffs there, but you can see the castle in the distance.
Graveyard is up there. Got it.
You can see that dilapidated windmill in the distance. But yeah, you see tons of graves. You even see that it looks like things have crawled out of some of the graves.
Oh yeah.
wait, zoom in on the graveyard. Please and thank you.
I mean that's
Yeah, I see a lot.
Okay, there it is.
Mm. Oh, look, a giant spider.
Oh no. Is that on the map too?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, no, that's for flavor, but
That's just
What
drift.
do your
That's just
elf
drift.
That's
eyes
just-
see?
that's just Drith.
For mine see nothing.
Hey,
Well,
all right.
there's the castle, the other place of interest we've heard of,
Yes.
and there's a fun little, not fun looking windmill down there.
I wonder if that's where the woman that we met when we first came out of the cave lives, because it's not near the town.
I mean, it's kind of near the town.
Well, it's near the
I'm-
town, but it's not in the town.
I'm more curious to find this purple robed man because it is obvious to me that they are the ones who have done all these things. And if there is a place for him to be, I would think it'd be the castle, especially because the watchman of the castle is being mysteriously paid still. Could be that
That's
he is
true.
being paid by the purple robed man.
Hmm. And this
Agree.
tunnel leads closer to the castle. Only thing of
What
note.
time is it?
It's about midday.
Okay. Before we leave, we need to not forget to put this big rock back. Otherwise, we just opened a tunnel for the undead straight into the village.
It's true.
Which is no bueno.
All right,
Okay,
well,
guys,
let's push it.
Out of character, I don't know if you guys have ever played RuneScape, but this is eerily similar to the plot of a quest that I'm doing right now.
Well, I haven't really played RuneScape in depth, so it's entirely coincidence.
You walked through a tunnel, got to a cemetery, and then saw a castle.
Pretty common.
It's like it's something like those are common
Yeah.
plot elements, but anyway. So back in character, back in game. So what's your next step? What do you think you should do now? Discuss as a party.
Wasn't there a thing about the girl hunting for mushrooms around here or something?
Yeah.
First, I think.
I mean, she got eaten by a bear. What else is there? Or a
Yeah,
giant
I wasn't
spider.
there.
There's lots of giant spiders, apparently.
It was probably a spider. It wasn't a bear.
think-
Definitely.
We should check out the castle. Upon our return, we should investigate the forest, see if we can find at least the dead body of this girl. And then after that, we go to the windmill.
Okay.
Who's in the castle? Did they tell us?
They said no one is in the castle.
Well, what they said was that it was Baron Zeglov Kamevrov, but no one has seen him in 3 years.
Hmm.
But but Barnby, the gatekeep, is still doing his job and being paid to do his job. So
Well, I say we go to the castle and see if we can find Mr. Ziggy Stardust and figure out what's going on.
You have such unique language. I like it. It's fun.
Thank you. I come from across the ocean.
Do you come from a land down under?
No,
Uh,
cross the
No, I don't.
If there are any open graves, Kadiak is just going to make sure that the head is not intact.
okay, so there are several open graves, however, there's nothing in them.
Okay.
That's
Well, too
reassuring.
late for that.
All right.
So I guess to the castle.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So you make your way out
What am I sitting
the
at?
gates to the south. So you make your way out the gate to the south, head east, southeast along the road. It's gonna take probably about you'd guess maybe half an hour-ish to get up to the castle. Anything
So-
that you guys want to talk about whilst you are traveling?
So the graveyard is a lot closer than it looks.
Yes, the thing about the tunnels is the tunnels were kind of zigzagging back and forth. That's why it took a long time to get to the graveyard.
They're going up.
Oh.
And
I'm
like, it
just
wasn't
kinda
like
wanna-
sorry, and I probably misspoke. It wasn't like it took you like forever. It was probably like maybe an hour, 2 hours, maybe 3 at most. So and now
just
that
while
you
we're-
and now that you've been in it and you know what you're expecting, it would be faster. You know, you could travel first through it faster.
while we're walking, I'm just gonna keep an eye out for the occupants of the open graves, just or anything else that's just kind of
The ex-occupants.
ex-occupants. Yeah,
Okay.
so just
Yeah, just like
watching that.
anything dangerous,
Yeah.
eyes open.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a little like slightly paranoid after the fight with the spiders and death being so near. So
Okay.
I'm not used to that. We'll just put it that way.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. Are you? So you're gonna. Cool. I'll keep that in mind. All right.
While we're walking, I'm gonna talk to Corvette. So where do you say you are from?
The Southern Isles, down south. You know, little islands down there. Very beautiful, actually.
What is it like there?
Well, it's beautiful, but there's a lot of mist actually. So there's it's not like a huge part of the kingdom or anything. Not tons of trade like in the western parts of the kingdom, but you know, it's fun. Good people are there. I grew up there and grew up in the monastery of the Southern Isles actually. So was there most of the time and visit family sometimes.
Why did
So-
you want to join the monastery?
Well, in case I'm sure you've all kind of assumed or guessed with my golden eyes, I'm an Aesimer. And you know, just the church really likes to raise us and, you know, be able to, because of our blood and our descendants, well, our ancestors, they want to kind of keep just an eye on us, for better phrasing.
A golden eye.
Uh, yes, one of those.
Speaking of eyes, Art, how'd you lose your eyes? Why can't you see, man?
I just kind of look at you for a second, like, wow.
Look at me, huh?
Well, I can hear you. I know the direction
Oh.
from where you're standing from me. I was born on the streets, and
Everybody born on the streets loses their eyes.
no, I got sick, and my mother wrapped my eyes because there was nothing she could do, and so I have lost my sense of vision. But losing my sight, I my other senses are sharper. Which is why sometimes I can handle it really well, and other times I sit down in the cave for a quick break, and then I realize I can't hear footsteps anymore and don't know where I'm going.
I'm sorry to hear that. My
but,
dog had cataracts. That's really tough.
It is now lore. It is now canon. Jarith's dog had cataracts.
Anyway, Corvette, Southern Isles, the Ace of Golden Eyes. Not my eyes. Don't want to talk about those anymore.
So when you woke up in the cave, were you in the monastery the night before, or had you left?
Oh, talking to me now?
Yes, still talking to you.
I was okay. I was on the road actually, traveling east, just to one of the bigger cities.
You didn't want to stay in the monastery anymore?
Ooh, that's a good question. No, actually, not at that point. You see, my monastery, I was away visiting my family, and when I returned, everyone in the monastery was dead. And just with all the weird stuff that's happened to us, there's more of that's happened before, and it's just all very strange. And at that point, I just kind of was like, I can't be here, and kind of just wanted to find answers. So that's the short end of it. And
Okay.
kind of yeah.
Drith goes over and gives Corvid a hug.
Corbett like stands there. I'm like, and then after a
Which
second,
of
it's
his
like
legs?
gives him a big hug back, big bear hug.
And Drith puts a gold piece in his back pocket too. Can I do a sleight of hand to see if he knows or not?
Go for it. And because I'm going to be handing out inspiration to Corvette and Artyom and Jelania, by the way.
Cool.
I wanna look at Corvette and say, why didn't you heal yourself?
Well, quick question. What'd you get for your sleight of hand check?
Oh, I got a 19.
Okay, he didn't notice you slipped the gold coin. All right, now yeah.
You mean with my healing hands ability because I'm an ASMR? I actually am keeping it.
The church says that you can heal yourself. You can heal others. Why didn't you?
I'd rather heal someone else if they go down than myself. And
I'm gonna
so
look at you and go for it.
If anyone else goes down, for example, if you go down, or Piotr, who, thanks to both of you, have fantastic healing abilities, much better than mine, there's still someone else who can at least get you back up.
I'm gonna look at you and you're, kind of as if I'm looking right into your eyes, and I'm just gonna shake my head and say, I don't understand. But even on the streets, you always had to think about yourself first before everyone else. Even with your crew, you could never really count on them. So then I'll kind of nod my head and look away.
Adiak from the front grunts back. That's a shame. Horrible way to live.
I expect in the monastery you had a lot of selflessness very much drilled into you, huh?
That was part of it, yeah. Other thing, just kind of just who I feel like I am and what I should do, and however it needs to be done, it'll get done. But yeah, definitely was around it a lot, we'll say.
Gotcha.
Anything else anyone wants to talk about? Or... Okay, so you make your way
Curious.
forward. Go ahead.
Anya, I'm curious. You're a demon, right?
I
you
go
grow up
up
in hell?
and just like.
In the minds of some,
by the way-
yes.
Drith is completely straight-faced here. He does not give any recognition that he has said anything offensive.
Gosh.
Jelania actually does not react to it too extremely or harshly. It's just, in the minds of some, certainly.
Corvette puts his hand on the back of Drith, be like, "You are a brave man, and yet that is a dangerous question to ask."
Why is that?
Some might find it as offensive, but Anya here looks.
Oh, geez. Oh, really? Oh, gosh. I'm sorry, Anya. I did not know that.
It is. It's not fine, but it is fine. I have become very
Okay.
used to it.
It's not fine, but I'm fine.
So,
Yeah.
are you from hell?
No.
Another pat. Another. hard, difficult question.
No,
Offensive
I'm
as well?
I'm from Mordor.
Oh, okay. Cool, cool.
So you're all beginning
Yes.
to very clearly get the understanding that Drith has never heard or even seen a tiefling in his entire life.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I only grew up around really stuffy elves, so I'm trying to figure out exactly what's going on with the rest of the world.
Hence the interest in all things, architecture and use of
Yeah, back where I'm
confession
from,
rooms.
yeah, we our religion we just worship the dragon god Heshram, and so we all just spend our lives like building shrines. So my goal is to figure out like the best architecture, best structure I can build ever. And so I'm going around the world trying to study a bunch of different religions to figure out like why people believe what they believe, so that I can construct like the best and most unique the shrine to Heshram ever seen in my elven community. Though I will add that the elves were stuffy. They didn't like me because my dad was a human, and I don't know who he is, but I heard he's over here. And I pull out a little what do you call it? Just like a little, not statue, but it's a little figure of like an oak tree. And it's like, this is all my mom gave me to go off of to help me find him. I think he's around here somewhere. I'll find him. But anyway, so that's why I'm always making jokes too, because the elves hated it, and I didn't like that they just like me. Yeah, I'm basically the Naruto of the elf world.
All right.
So you kick against the assumptions, the prejudices, the
Yeah, but I also don't know
stuffiness.
anything about the world, so forgive me if I'm ever offensive. I'm just trying to figure out. The elves are very blunt in the way they ask things.
Well, let me then teach you about me and my blood. I am descended from someone very important, very powerful, who he and his companions, in an effort to save all of the world, took into themselves the blood of some demons to learn more about them, to gain special strengths. And this is what happened. And so people assume that we are half wild, half dangerous, half beast, half all the worst, and then they forget all the good things that could also be there. There's always this look of like, oh no, are you gonna go up and eat my baby? I don't know. And it's, it's fun.
Sounds just like the exact
So Drith
opposite.
records in a little notebook. He says, "Does not eat babies."
That sounds like the exact opposite of what people think and believe about Asimir. But you never know.
Well,
And
I gave
then he
up a
writes
long
down
time ago
Asimir,
trying to
may
make
eat
people think I'm a good
babies.
person. The Asimari babies.
You never know.
so
I gave up a long time ago trying to make people think that I am, something I'm not. I started to just not care because they aren't going to believe me anyway. They read from their holy books and from whatever else they learn about, and they make their choices, they make their decisions, and there's nothing I can do. So I will just be me. If I want to eat a baby, I'll eat a baby.
Okay.
I
He
haven't
crosses out
wanted
"does
to
not
get-
eat babies" and says "may eat babies."
All right. So when Drith pulled out that oak symbol, immediately I need anyone who's familiar with the Silhanan religion, give me a
Okay.
religion check.
Is that me too?
Yes, that would also include Piotr, because that's the local religion.
Not me.
Right, not Katiak. Katiak is.
That's a nat 20.
Okay.
So 22.
Corvette,
Yeah, I think that's a nice looking.
I got 18.
and then what'd you get, Artyom?
18.
Piotr, what'd you get?
Nat 20.
So you all
Oh.
immediately recognize that symbol as the symbol of Saint Yethrum. He was an old farmer who left his land behind to follow the dragon goddess. It said he was in charge of organizing the supply lines. He is the patron saint of the commoners, farmers, and nature. His is the 9th month of the year. So your guess at this point is that since the clergy dedicate themselves to specific saints alongside the dragon goddess, is that Drith's father is someone related to Saint Yephrem, who either a cleric who probably devoted himself to Saint Yephrem.
Well, the good news there is we know who that symbol belongs to.
Oh, this really?
Yeah,
Yes.
it may not be as helpful as you want it to be. There are a lot of
Okay.
follow that particular saint.
Saint.
A saint, yeah.
Saint. What
Yithrim,
saint?
right? I just completely
I get
butchered that. Yithrim?
Yephrem.
Okay.
He's
That
a
one.
dusk saint.
Might want to explain what the saints
Saint
are.
Yephrem. Okay.
So a
Is-
saint is
They
I'm
were
gonna
the
get my
generals
award
of the Dragon Queen. They
Yep.
fought in the war against the darkness of Morphis.
The 12
Wow.
commanders that became known as the Saints of the Dragon.
So you think my dad followed this like Saint Yephrem? He has some kind of connection to him, huh?
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be he just had a
Potentially.
nice tree. Maybe he just liked the tree.
I mean, it could be Yephrem, but I'm not holding my breath on that one.
All right. Thanks for the information. He writes all that down in the notebook.
It does not eat babies.
Cadillac.
May eat babies.
may
Right under does not eat babies.
Cadillac.
Cadillac has an ear back of this whole thing just because he knows little to nothing about the southern religions. As far as he knows, they worship dragons and have some sort of limited understanding of the ancestors, but that's it. That's all that he knows. So he's gonna as all of this is being said.
All right.
So Drith looks at Cadillac and says, "I couldn't help but notice that you seem to dislike the southern religions. Is there something that you dislike like most about the southern religions of this land?"
They disregard the importance of ancestors.
I mean,
Oh. And do you
Why?
honor your ancestors by stopping on their skulls? Again,
At this point,
Completely straight
Corbett
face.
just complete face just. Oh man, this guy.
So, Cadillac explains, no, the remains of an ancestor must be properly set to rest. Otherwise, then the skull must be crushed. Because you see, many ages ago, many mothers ago, my tribe was almost wiped out by a undead horde. In fact, we were down to the last family of the tribe, and we were praying that our ancestors could help us before a stranger came in and offered to us two gulls carved from an oak tree, and said, leave these out at night, and they shall help you. That night was a new moon, the night when the ancestors are closest to the earth. Well, these the ancestors of my tribe took the bodies of the gulls, grew them to massive size, and defended throughout the night against all of the undead that were attacking us. And after each time, the head was made sure to be no more. And so now, whenever I fight an undead or find a body that has not been properly put to rest and that I fear may rise again, I always crush the head.
That explains a lot.
Everything I do has a purpose. It is wasted energy to do things uselessly.
You are one cool dwarf. That is so awesome.
I just picture you walking into a funeral of some super rich, super important person who didn't get the rights of your people and just squishing it in front of
Yeah, man.
all of their family.
Cadillac doesn't care.
Exactly. It would be hilarious.
We should do
I'm
that.
imagining
We should
it.
stage that.
I
Nope.
hope you're not imagining me.
No, I
Wait,
was
You
imagining
said
like
some rich person.
rich old man.
Oh,
Rich
okay.
old
Like
jerk
the,
with lots
like
of
the
annoying
new
family.
Baron of this castle,
You
Baron Ziggy Stardust.
Cadillac smirks a little bit, but explains that it doesn't necessarily have to be the rights of his people, just as long as the correct rites for that ancestor has been performed.
Give me a
Very
second.
cool.
Okay.
So, when you die,
We lost the dungeon master.
Yeah, no.
I'm back.
No, he had to disappear because of me.
You're good.
His Discord keeps crashing.
That's a shame.
Oh, I can see your stream now.
Anyway. All right. Anything else?
How far are we from the castle now?
You're pretty much at the castle at this point. So you approach and you see a gate. You know, and there's this guy. You recognize him from the tavern yesterday. He's just sitting there.
Barnaby?
Barnby. Yep. And he
Barnby. Barn.
and
Is he the one that came out when Cadillac and I were outside?
no, he is not.
Okay.
that was a town guard.
He looks up and he sees you approach. He looks back down and he sits back up, looks around, and waits for you as you get close enough. And he goes, "Can I help you?"
Open the gate.
Yes. Please open the gate.
He looks around and he's like, "I know it's around here somewhere." And he starts fumbling through some stuff on his desk. And then she pulls out a
He's
letter.
got a desk outside. Nice.
Well, I mean, he's in like a gatehouse.
Oh, okay, okay.
So,
that makes sense. Yeah.
He opens up. Well, let's see. Let's see. Haven't had to use this in the entire time I've been here.
No one has come to ask to see the Baron?
Nope. Well, I mean, they did it first, so it's been a few. I guess I have used this, but I just when I came after the fog appeared, I got this letter, and the letter says this: I am under no circumstances supposed to let anyone inside the castle.
So
Well,
you'll open the
we-
gate for us, though.
What if we don't go in the castle? We just go in the wall.
I don't know. This hasn't happened to me before.
Think
Wasn't
about it.
expecting to see anyone. It's just supposed to be a few hours where I come up, I sit at the gate for 8 hours or so, and then I get, I'm away from my wife for 8 hours, and I just sit and drink, and no one's supposed to come up here. What are you all doing here?
Can I roll
Hey,
a
hey, mister.
Yeah, you can roll persuasion. But yes, Strith.
Oh, I was gonna say, hey, mister. Maybe I can give help to Art on this one, but I can be like, hey, mister, I know that this is a really stressful job, so maybe you could use one of these. And I pull out my goose down pillow.
Ooh,
All right,
pick that up? Oh, man.
that'll give
If you
him.
could, if you let us in, hey, this is all yours. Authentic goose down
I
from the
need you.
goose back home.
I need you to take away my inspiration star so I can re-roll.
Except that's gonna give you advantage. What Drith just
Oh,
did.
he's gonna give me advantage.
Yep.
I got a 14.
Okay.
Otherwise, it was gonna be a 1.
All right, so tell me what you say to him.
If you think about it, the wording is very specific. No one in the castle proper. The Baron doesn't want us in his hallways in the castle. But he never says anything about no one inside the walls. It doesn't say walls anywhere in those instructions, does it? Think about it. We're the Baron's subjects. So we can go in the walls and we stand outside the castle and we say, Baron, we would like to speak to you. And we just wait. And then he makes the decision. And technically you're not doing anything wrong because you followed the exact letter on the paper.
In the letter.
Let's out a sigh. Give me the pillow. You guys can go in. Just don't go in the castle. Stay outside.
Well,
You're
it
just...
says under no circumstances can you let people inside. We are here under specific circumstances, not no circumstances. So
Yes. Not only are we only going in the wall, but we have very specific circumstances.
You all
So if
are
we go
confusing
in
me
the
with your
castle-
big words and your fancy speech. Just... I didn't let you in, all right? He takes the pillow and he
Sounds good.
covers
I
his
give
head
him a
with
Take
it.
a nap.
About it.
I pat him on the shoulder and say, "Thank you, good sir."
He's kind of silently sobbing at his... He's so confronted.
Can I sneak a peek at the letter and see if it's the same handwriting as anything that I saw in the Holy Book?
Sure. Give me
With the
a
evil-
perception check.
Okay. That will be a nat 20 with a 25 total.
It does not match the handwriting that you saw in the book.
Does it match any handwriting that I've seen?
No.
Okay. What a thing to waste a net 20 on.
Yeah, because you can just pull those out whenever, right?
Right?
You got a 5% chance.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you all begin to head up towards the castle, and
Yep.
that's where we're gonna leave it for tonight.
Ooh. Dun dun
More
dun.
cliffhangers.
Buildings at the ends of these.
All
No.
right. So thank you everyone for coming out. It's been a lot of fun. Just again, reminder: this is an every other week thing. So we will be back in 2 weeks. So that would be September 23rd at 7 p.m.
Yes.
Thanks so much. It's been a lot of fun.
Don't forget.
I'm-
Rehash
Yeah.
the roles.
Rehash the rules. So Wednesdays on Lydia's channel, Stay at Home DM. At what time is that again?
The Rehash the Laurels ones are going to be 8:30 Eastern time, so a little bit earlier than these shows are.
Okay, yeah. So 8:30 Eastern time, so just a little bit earlier than ours.
6:30 Mountain. Cool.
So if you have any questions about the stream, you can check out our Discord. There's a link to the Discord below. Check out the Discord, and there's a Rehash the Roles section in which you can leave any questions you have for the players, as well. And I would also just a plug to Lydia. Lydia does her own campaign performance check on her stream. She does it every Monday at 8 Eastern, right?
Yep.
That's 6 p.m. That's 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for those of us who are Mountain Standard Time.
We're weird.
Yeah, we're weird. But sounds good. But yeah, thanks a lot. It's been a blast. I've had a lot of fun. Yeah, so we will see you again next. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
See ya.